How's it going, y'all? We are back with the brand new Misplay for game. We're no longer the Pod Squad podcast. The logo may have changed, but the hosts stay the same. I'm gonna be a host as well, Andrew or Elixir, joined by the illustrious.
Hey guys, it's me. It's Tom or the TommyNT on the platforms you'd find me. It's nice to be back, baby. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been good. As always. Oh, I have messed up these cameras.
Off
to an amazing start.
Unlucky.
Yo,
it's the first misplay.
It's always
the first misplay for Misplay.
Hello.
What up, gang?
Here.
And you know, we start things off with a bang and a scuffed podcast, but we got ourselves a guest. Yo, he's off camera.
Where am I? Okay, hold on. Let me I gotta scoot.
Welcome to the show.
Yo.
All right.
Oh, why did I not check these?
It's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna hold on. I'm trying to figure out where I need to scoot. I'm like.
You know what's great?
You're good. You're good.
You're good. I fixed it for these cameras. Yo,
okay.
Misplay for game, Misplay for everything. I have screwed this up. Tom is at like 12 FPS, but that's okay.
That's me, baby.
I'll fix you throughout the thing, but yeah, we are back. We have finally done it. Hopefully
we
we'll
have a
be
guest. You want to introduce yourself, Mr. Superstar Guest?
I don't know about Superstar, but for those of you that may or may not know me, my name is Hoang, and I am one of the Digimon content creators, part of HoangZero YouTube channel. So I am, God, I've been doing this for almost 3 years, maybe past 3 years now. It sounds like 2020 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have nothing but love for this game, and I'm really thankful for y'all to have me on this podcast, or I guess interview, podcast, stream thing. I don't know what we're calling this, but I'm just glad to be here. Thank you all so much for having me, and thank you for accommodating the time zone. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it was solid. Like, we were super happy that you were just like down for it, because like we've slowly just like looped through the fanboy crew, but we did eventually want to like kind of like branch out and actually get some proper guests in here. Next time we'll contact you more than like a week in advance.
Ah, you're good. Don't worry. You contact me like 3 hours in advance. I got you. Easy.
I was laughing before because I told a friend of mine that we were recording tonight, and he went, "Bro, on Super Bowl Sunday? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah,
I was like,
mom,
"Yeah, you know, we do it like that."
My mom
That's
called me
that's
today.
the other Misplay today. That's Misplay for game on the busiest, most streamed live event of the year.
Dude, it's
We got
also
Kai on the Twitch.
It's African Cup of Nations as well. My mom was like, "Yo, Nigeria's in the final." I'm like, "Final of what?"
Oh no.
Bodied.
Yeah, it was we were off to a bad start, but yeah, I'm glad that we were able to just kind of kick things off with this. Hopefully we'll get more people on if people like having Hoang, and he's down to int his Saturday or Sundays away. Probably Saturdays now.
I will do my best. I will be here whenever you guys need me to. I'm ready.
All right, awesome. Also, we do have a little segment, obviously, some housekeeping to get out of the way. Whatever you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, make sure to follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You will want to be on Twitch slightly later. It's very important for the live listeners that if you want to partake in something we're going to be doing soon, that you do head over to the Twitch, but we'll give you time to jump over to that. For people listening or watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts are on that now. I hate that platform. Please make it worth it by going and doing that. And also make sure to subscribe to our guest, Hoang's, someone that, to be fair, needs no introduction. But if you aren't already on the HoangZero Discord, the YouTube, the Patreon, all the ways to support our guests from across the pond.
Yeah. The only thing I will say about the Patreon is that Patreon is strictly for supporting the HoangZero channel. If you like the content that we produce over there, if you like everything that's going on, that's the way you can support it. Strictly for supporting the channel, but yeah.
Guy makes some great videos, works with really cool thumbnail artists, and it has probably been the backbone of most of your guys' ability to get friends into the game. So let's show some respect to the folks that have helped us get here.
Yeah, like
Real
for
question
real.
Still some follows. And if you're not subbed, what the come on.
When's the BT15 tier list
What are you
coming out?
doing?
I'm waiting. When's
So
the
the
BT15?
so the BT50 tier list, we're cooking. We're cooking in the kitchen. It might be a little burnt, but we're cooking. But
If you bait me with Ulforce again, I'll be so upset.
in my defense, Kiki was doing way too well with the deck, and I was like, "There's no way! Like, there has to be something behind this madness, dude." But no, with BT15, we're because of post ban list and everything like that, we wanted to give it a little bit more time for us to do a little bit of testing prior to us releasing a tier list, because we don't want to like throw some like crapshoot out there and be like, yeah, dude, this is what we're thinking. We're really trying to thoroughly test everything. So
Just not influence the
hopefully-
metagame. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
could not be us. Me and Marcia. Like,
Yeah,
my
next
favorite-
thing you
Wow.
know, next thing you know, you might have your friend Jambo going to Nats on Ulforce and being like, "Guys, I cooked. Don't worry."
Or you upset like angry commenters. People just couldn't believe that I just thought that Dark Knight was slightly better than Deebergen, and we're like, "How dare you?" It's like, it's my
Yeah.
tier list.
Yeah,
True.
you get them, dude.
That's actually one of the things that's really interesting. Like, because obviously we're all Europeans. Tom's just come back from NA, but just like seeing the differences between how you guys approach the game versus how we approach the game is so interesting. Like,
Oh my god, my kingdom for a week of not playing EU format Digimon. These dudes, they
They're like
cannot stop recovering one.
It's like
It's
yellow
unbelievable.
hybrid. They're
Yellow
just like they
hybrid
just love
Mirage.
yellow hybrid, and Mariah's like,
Yeah,
I think there is like a pretty, I wouldn't say a stark difference in the way that NA and EU players approach the game. But from like the way, like when I exchange comments with European players, I will say I think I see Jambo's comment.
Easy.
I don't know, dude. Like, I think obviously I have a lot of respect for both NA and EU players. I think across the board, it doesn't matter where where you come from. Like the work you put into your gameplay, it will show regardless. I think that's why you should give like flack to like Japanese players, Southeast Asia players, whatever, like wherever the player may be from. If they put in the work and they put in the time and they have the logic behind it, you have to respect that.
some of that logic is a line of coke though, right before the event.
Sure. You got, but see, hidden amongst the cope, there is surely to be like a diamond in the rough, right? Like you can't innovate without coping a little bit. You know what
of
I mean?
course.
Oh yeah.
I love Southeast Asia. Like Southeast Asian lists, they're the best. I love those guys. They're
Yeah.
they're great.
Dude, the Asian finals went crazy too. I wish more. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we'll talk. We can complain about coverage till the end of time. It's being the third tier Bandai game. But
Yeah.
oh my god, some of those lists were awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, JP Nats was very, very cool. The one game we saw of NA Nats was interesting.
Yeah.
Do we just go straight on to NA Nats? Is that what we do? Tom, you have the run of show because you're the one that actually preps things correctly.
Yeah, I've got a couple things lined up. So I'll give you guys a quick cursory rundown. I apologize in advance, fellas, but my absolute fixation this week has been Japan's Highlander Tamer Party EX format. I find it amazing. I don't think we've had anything that's really caught like this in Digimon side events, but we'll come back to that in a minute. We're going to talk through NA Nats. We're going to talk through the announcement for the upcoming Ultimate Cup formats because we're back to sort of a faux standard regional template, as well as it being the start of the new circuit. And the announcement for the remainder of this, like, depending on which region you're looking at, basically the first half of the year's regionals have been announced. There are events in Texas and Tennessee in North America, in Spain, in Europe, and a couple other places. Mostly online for anywhere that's not those listed three, though. Although everything comes with those little asterisks. Bandai
I think
likes to
they're
drop
probably
them 2 months
waiting
later.
until they're waiting until Worlds to let Worlds
Mhm.
happen and then announce the rest of the events. That's usually how they do it.
So yeah, after that, we'll be going over. There was, I would say, kind of tangentially related to North American Nats, a pretty huge slew of announcements coming from the good folks at Bandai, including one that I really think folks are excited about, which is the unification of the release schedule. Big deal. Everyone's pretty stoked. And lastly, we'll go through the mandatory what's topping in the West, what's topping in the East.
I'll be honest, I'm less stoked about the unification after immediately seeing how BT15's pull rates were trash.
Yeah, BT18 is a double set, kind of like 1.5 was for us.
Yeah, like at first I was excited for that, but then I just saw like the LM stuff and how it's like destroyed the pull rates. I'm like, please let it just be 2 Mickey Mouse sets back to back so I can skip them.
I don't think there's ever been 2 sets back to back you could skip, but I love to live in that world, my man.
They just gotta put Ghost Game cards in it, because like the Ghost Game cards are just like cursed releases every time. RBO1, trash. BT15, trash.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah.
I'd love to dig through the because there were so many. I mean, part of the the LM cards is that the Eastern format got them so much earlier than we're getting them that they've kind of missed their golden time to shine. But also, they were also cards that saw success as a response to a format that we're never going to play. Like the Seriousmon Ace is this will they won't they card that I'll think about for now until the end of time, because it had all these cool niches and applications and a lot of really interesting board control decks. As like Red just used it to solo Melga. Like if they blindly swung Wergarurumon, you had that, you won. But we're not gonna get there. That doesn't matter. But yeah, so shall we go ahead and start out with a quick look at NA Nats? I'll send us the statistics in our little chat here. But Hoang, were you there?
I was there. I definitely overthought NA Nats, and a lot of things happened, but I'm more than happy to talk about it, for sure. Definitely.
What did you play, my man?
Yeah, what did you play?
So okay, precursor. I spent 6 months. I started prepping for nationals 6 months in advance.
Of course, that makes sense.
I really wanted to do well at Nats, and so I played Anubismon for 6 months. And we were doing very well with Anubismon for 4 months straight, and then the fifth month mark, it immediately went downhill. It started going very downhill. Whether it was because people adapted their builds to beating Anubis, or people kind of just got comfortable with it, they finally understood what kind of thresholds, math to play around. It just started getting a lot harder, and I was very confident with Anubis, but I realized that the red hybrid matchup was not great. It was very, very difficult, in my opinion, because red hybrids, they're the deck with one of the easiest accesses to Crimson Blaze. They have so much floating, so even if you pop their stuff, they just come back, and it's just you can never actually negate their value. If they pop Merva, they can just push for game. It was just a whole a lot of things, and so going into the event, I saw Oceania, Red Hybrid had the most representation in top 16. I think it had 7 out of the top 16. And I was like, oh shit, I can't, this seems bad. If I play into Red Hybrid, I think it's doomed. And I set my standards extremely high this year. I said anything below top 2 was a failure. That was kind of where my mindset was. And I think that was a mistake on my end for setting the standard so high. But hindsight is hindsight, right? It's just,
I don't think that's completely unfair to you, because you placed pretty well with machines, so it's you knew yourself you could get that kind of result. So it's obviously you're going to try do well. It's just happening.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry, you mentioned you'd been testing for 6 months, getting up to EX6. How hot off of your machine win were you before you went into EX5 testing?
It was the moment it was confirmed to be EX5. Off the rip, I started going because I was is it a BT14 event? Is it an EX5? I don't want to spend all this time practicing EX5 and it's it's BT14. I'll be okay, that's kind of a waste. And then they confirmed it was EX5, and I was okay, now I need to hit the ground running. So going into the format, I had a very good understanding of everything. I knew all the meta decks. I understood how everything worked. I had all the lines of play in my head, right? Unfortunately, what ended up happening, and I don't think I played that super great. I think kind of off the rip, I played very suboptimally. I think I don't know how much EU knows about this, but there was a bit of a fiasco with NA Nats, specifically with all the buys and everything like that. If you had a buy, you there's a chance you had gotten paired round 1, round 2, and it was a whole hullabaloo. But as a result, what should have been a very easy, stress-free 2 hours, I would have had to myself. It became a game of standing in line for 2 hours. And I don't want to talk too negatively on this, because obviously everyone was trying to do the best they could. But I think having the buy made it a little bit more awkward for me personally, because what ended up happening was if you had a buy, it was worth less than if you had won your round normally.
Which is strange, because normally they're it's a ghost opponent that win X and O.
Yeah, so for example, I went into round 3 undefeated, technically, but I was sitting with X1 with X2. I was not sitting with the undefeated. So I chose Melga. Metal Garurumon was my choice of deck. The reason why I went with Melga is because it had a very favorable red hybrid matchup. I felt like I could 50-50 into Anubis. And across the board, I felt like I had really good matchup spread into all the competitive decks.
Not to interrupt. Were you on
Yeah.
purple base or blue base?
Blue. I was on blue base specifically because the 1000 DP you got from your Gabu inherit and your Pseudo inherit meant you don't get absolutely
Ruin-moded.
decimated by ruin mode.
Yep.
Which was the biggest caveat in testing. So I was like, I refuse to lose to ruin mode. Like it's not happening. I refuse. What ended up happening, however, was because I was getting paired. And I've heard like a lot of different stories, but me, I was immediately down paired. I got down paired round 3, round 4, round 5, and so on. So off the rip, I wasn't playing into undefeated and whatnot, even when I was undefeated. So as a result, I played into a lot of matchups I wasn't expecting.
The X1 bracket demons.
Yeah.
I was making the loser bracket run.
Yeah.
Off the rip. Yeah. So I played into Edamon, for example, and like I think Edamon's a very good deck, but I didn't expect Edamon off the rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly
so
not round 3.
Oh, okay. We won our round 3, thankfully. It was a Garu mirror on our.
And this was you were like basically like iced out because like you didn't get to warm up like rounds 1, 2, and 3, right? Because you had like your invite.
Yeah. I mean, like I think if the mentally wise, I think it would have been fine. I think it was more so the issue of like going into round 3, I was a little bit tilted already, and then after everything's said and done, my round 4, very nice guy by the way, very nice person. I played Metal Edamon, and this is a matchup where it's like I didn't expect to see a lot of it, maybe like 1 or 2, but I didn't expect it like so early. So I wasn't my most comfortable matchup. And what ended up happening was I learned very quickly Sukumon's Curse is a very good card in security. Because my Weregaru became a Sukumon, a white Sukumon, mind you. So I was prepping for, I was trying to set up for a Blast Evo on his turn, Metal Garu steal his turn. It would be fine and everything. And then I realized I can't Blast Evo. So I got smacked up like crazy. It was bad. And just from there, I think partially I just was not mentally good that day. I think that's on me. That's on me. 100% on me. I think I set the standards way too high for myself, and when things kind of hit the fan, I think I kind of just crumbled. But I've learned my lesson. I've taken this as a learning experience more than anything else, and I think going into next nationals, I think I'm going to come back a lot stronger for sure.
That's what we like to hear.
I think there's something really interesting because I know a lot of folks. I have some friends who have gotten into Digimon recently, who have competitive backgrounds and a lot of other like, especially longer running and more established card game scenes. And I think the thing that people love, it's kind of this like, we can talk about it forever, but it's like the holes in Digimon content creation are like, we have lots of deck profiles and tier lists. But like insofar as like learning resources, there's always some gaps missing and things like that. One of the things I always hear from especially like Magic friends, people who've been playing for decades, and they're like, man, dude, like the problem is always that you guys don't have anything to talk about. Like, what do you do about tournament jitters? Like, what do we do about like getting your mental prep right? Like, how do you prepare for 9 hours of play? And so I think it's reaffirming. Yeah, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you don't know what you're in for, and then you get bucked. But that's
like my round 1, like jitters. You guys know that I have like the worst like round 1. Like
yeah. You dip from the group, start around 1 every event.
I just can't. It's like I'm glued to a bathroom, and until I'm sat down playing my opponent, it's just the worst.
Yeah,
but it's a universal experience. Like it doesn't matter. You know what? Like Hoang just said, he played for 6 months straight. Guy knows the format. If you know the format, that is not an assurance, and it shouldn't feel like a criticism against a player if they feel anxious or unrested in some capacity before they sit down for their event. And that like circumstances aside from the particular strangeness that were the way that the buys were sorted into the pool, it does not change the fact that like part of coming into gameplay is feeling like you're hot and on the day you can do it. So it's important to take notes from folks who have gone the distance before, that sometimes this stuff can happen to people. It's part of playing a competitive environment.
And the thing is, nerves are always based on what you expect from yourself. If you go in, it's your first tournament, you're not expecting to do well, you'll get those jitters, but they won't be as bad as like okay, I need to make day 2, or like, especially in like most of us also come from fighting games where it's like double Ealing bracket, where you're going after you win your round 1, your round 2. It's like, okay, now I have to play top seed of this like region or whatever. Me, ignorance is bliss, bro. I have sat down to so many events where it's just like you had to play them, you played really well against them. Like, who? Like, they're PR'd in your region, like, who? Every time.
that was as I would say, like the UK Digimon scene's kind of been on a real uptrend this year. Shout outs in part to the good work of Andrew, being a Mr. Chronicler he is. But like there's a lot of say like kind of friendly, familiar faces starting to show up in our scene here.
I love our tournament organizers. OPE is great.
Yeah, shout outs OPE.
I wish they got more stuff.
Yeah, man. But there's a lot of like, I think there really is something to say about like fact that Digimon's turning 4 this year, guys. Like the card game it's getting there. So I think there's like a real like we kind of have gone over the hill where it's like, we know the faces, we know who's going.
We made it to BT14 without a reboot. That's like we're already doing better than Vanguard, okay? If we were Vanguard, we would have rebooted by now.
Hey, that's not the bar for Vanguard. Is like it's the floor.
Bro, that game used to be sick. That simulator, amazing.
Let me tell you about my Spike Brothers.
I also used to. I actually technically play Vanguard, and by play Vanguard, I like once a year for a tournament. Springfest actually, I play teams. Yeah. I actually had 2 points I wanted to make, but really quickly, every year I play Springfest with some friends, and I kind of just run it. And I think 2 years ago, I went in 0 preparation. I picked up Gurguit, and we got second. Yeah,
I saw that. That's when I was like close in the Vanguard scene, and I was like Hoang on Gurguit, and I was like, okay, I didn't know you had Vanguard skills like that. Friends are kids.
Honestly, yeah. But so going into this fest, spoiler, I'm playing Gurguit again for fun. We'll see what happens, but I every single accomplishment I've had in Vanguard, which isn't a lot per se, because I was like 15 at the time, but every accomplishment it was on like Gold Paladin, so that aside.
Paladins are always good, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what I wanted to say, and you guys brought up a really good point, is I think going into tournaments, I don't think it matters how prepared you are or how much experience you have. I think everyone has that anxiety. Everyone has those jitters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been playing card games since I was 15. I've played in numerous tournaments. I have multiple accomplishments across the board. And to this day, going into a tournament, I legit, it's like a mini panic attack, unironically. Like I also am just like, dude, I need to use the bathroom. Oh man, I'm so restless. I can't sit still. Like my hands are shaking. It's just one of those things where it's like you really can't beat it, but you kind of have to accept it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
like
how
well you manage it.
Yeah, you have to have faith in your preparation. If you put in the work and you put in the time and the effort, it will show. And so for me, like it's okay in my opinion, it's like if I'm having like this, like I can't stop shaking, I'm freaking out, I'm worrying, that's okay. But when it comes to the game, the moment you sit down at that table, you have to lock in. You have to be ready. You have to have faith in your preparation, faith in your experience, and you just have to go. Like we go from like, dude, I'm gonna X2, I'm gonna bubble out to I'm winning this event. Like I'm locked in. I know everything. And then afterward, then you can freak out again.
Yeah, like the people that go to events on their own are the strongest people I've ever met. Like we grow as a group of 15. It's like we make our huddle spot, like everyone report back to like let us know whether you win or not, gas each other up, tell someone like the person, they were trash, bro. Nobody has it like you have it, is the mindset you've always got to go in with. And at the very least, we play card games. When it's fighting games, you've got jitters and you physically can't move. That shit sucks.
Yeah.
My cards don't get any worse if my hands can barely hold them. I just have to put them down in the right order.
I've had some input delay on Millith loops, dude. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you about my streamed mirror match. Oh no.
I played for the BT13 regional. I was feeling great about that list because 13 was so long and I practiced the format.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was doing so well. Well, I was in the X1 bracket, so I was like, oh, this is where I want to be as Bloomlord. This Pomumon is gonna check everyone. And I even somehow managed to beat Beelzemon, and then I just tanked and I blundered my last round and it cost me my top. But then for the BT14 for the EU Nats, we didn't pass as much, and it was just my list I felt on, and then I just kept getting jaw. Well, it was I was undefeated for a couple of rounds, and then it just got worse. It was just win, lose. I was like, I'm just playing for fun now.
Yeah,
I think there is something to that. You kind of brought up an interesting point. I had a conversation about this with some friends back in NA. I've been away for a couple of weeks, and one of the things we were talking about is my competitive card background comes from Pokemon. I played in juniors and seniors for all of the years that you are a junior and senior. And one of the things I always hear from them is that it's really interesting because choosing your events is a challenge that kind of comes with the, I would suppose, like the experience of your more senior community folks. Something you'll hear a lot is like Pokemon players that want to go to Pokemon is unique in its Worlds qualification in that there are circuit points. So for folks who don't know Pokemon, you earn points by going to your locals, and then there are different tiered events. So like your regular locals can win you X like this year it's 500. The number to get to Worlds is 500. You can win it's like 50 points out of that can be from your local store. Then there are like broader, they're essentially Digimon store championships, but they're worth more than that. You can get up to like 100 of those. And then there's regionals that give you way more. And then you start to get to like, if you win a regional, you get an automatic invite. If you win an international challenge, which is the tier above that, those are kind of like Digimon, like NA Nats is kind of like an international challenge, kind of in scope. Another auto qualifier. And the thing that you learn from these folks that go to all of these events is that they don't go to all of them. They really tactically choose what they're doing.
Yeah.
You hear a lot about folks who are saying, oh, I'm going to show up for, no matter how excited I am about a specific deck in a specific format, if I'm only going to have, if I'm going to play Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames, that format lasts 3 months, call it some change. I'm only going to go to 2 events in those 3 months because no matter how excited I am about the deck, I need to start keeping myself open to playing in another event. And so the UK, we like to joke about it because in June, the ban list that hit Melga and Beelzemon and all those, that came out 2 days before UK.
It was
2K regionals.
We got it announced. It was announced like a week before our BT12 regional, something like that. And then it went into effectiveness like 2 days before the event, like on the Friday, I think. And then our event was, no, I think it went live on Thursday, and our event was on Saturday, something like that.
Yeah, and because it went live on June 1st, and the event was on June 3rd. But so that was a weird one, and then there was also Liverpool regionals this past November. Was like Walsall. Oh yeah, oh my god, don't even get me started on that one. But I was gonna say Liverpool was the like we had fully already had the release of BT14, but we were playing a BT13 regional. So one thing you hear a lot from like particularly like long-term tenets of card games is like try and pick your battles. Make sure that if you're going to go to X number of events in a format, understand how much time you're committing to each format. There are always reasons to do your homework like that. For some folks, it can actually do a lot to calm those tournament nerves, like to make sure that you're like, oh, I've done my time. I've explicitly practiced the matchups I think I'm going to see. And that's important for the tournament preparation process, but also like,
and then some guy with Edamon shows up, so it's like...
Well, it is what it is. You get an Azulongmon ace in your setcon, and you're like, oh no, bro, I got cooked by well-salted rice for a change. But yeah, so there are... No shade. But there are points to that where it's like you have to consider which time investments you make, because, there's only 24 hours in a day, there's only 7 days a week, and we all got to get on with our lives. Most folks have, other commitments in their lives, be it work or family or friends and anything like that. So... I think we've talked quite a lot about tournament jitters and stuff at this point, but I in case anyone else has any other thoughts, please share. But I think one of the things to consider is like you really get out of the experience of playing something communal like a card game what you put into it. If you're there to see your friends, if you're there to derive fulfillment from your competition and the effort you put into it, those are all really important and very valid things to take away from something. So know what you're in for, man.
Yeah, we got. I think we're kind of half an hour in, so I think it's time maybe that we have some fun with it. Huang, do you also want to...
I'm so nervous, chat. This is a live hostage situation.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, I've got to like say about like signal boost this one out. If we want to get people jumping in for this one, this is something people want to be here live. Because we're 30 minutes in, I don't want to keep all the UK people held hostage as they wait for the thing that I have been cooking for several weeks. And boy, if it flops...
This is going to be funny in the audio edit later when I'm like, hang on, man, just got to tweet out the URL really quick.
Yeah, this whole thing was like, how do I make this audio friendly? And I was like, Apple Podcast people are just going to have to hold that. Spotify has video. But
if it's good enough for the yard where they get to dunk on audio listeners, whatever, man. We can play out.
All right. So, y'all ready for some games?
I'm so curious where this goes.
I'm horrified, Andrew. I'm horrified.
Okay.
We're live on the internet. I'm so afraid.
We're live on the internet, and I have a question for you. How good are you at calling shots?
Sick of it, dude.
Excellent.
Nobody's ever been better.
Because...
Let me tell you about Leomon.
Alrighty then, chat room. We got ourselves a little bit of a game.
Are we doing Will It Kill?
If you're not familiar with the Streamer Awards nominated little corner of the internet, Say Jam,
Shoutouts.
basically, I'm going to play a clip. And I'm going to pause it right before the push-out turn. And you are going to tell me a very, very simple answer, a simple question for me. Does the clip kill? Or are they living? I'm going to throw it out there. Everyone in the community gets to vote. We'll put a prediction up. You guys can spend your hard-earned channel points. So you do have to come over to Twitch because that's where this game is going to be played. And I'm also going to be extending the question to my fellow hosts. And they're going to let me know, is it lethal or is it living? We got 5 clips to play with. Maybe we'll do 3. And we'll keep tally to see how well y'all did.
Lethal or living is crazy, dude.
Yeah, so we got 5 clips. This one's not even the first one. The first one's actually going to be from Minikill in chat. I approached people just down low. Didn't even tell Jamie what this was for. I was just like, bro, you got a random
we're making
clip.
fun of Jamie? Let's go.
No, I was like, hey, you got this clip on hand? He's like, why? I'm like, no reason.
Shouts to Minikill, the second highest topping Jessmon in the UK.
Yeah, very, very true.
We got a Jessmon homie here.
I think they're both
Dude.
good.
Dude, I love Jessmon so much. I wish that deck was better, but yeah, dude, that deck is sick. And surely we'll get support in BT17. Like it was in try. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's in the movie.
Fun.
Dude, I've had that exact circular conversation with so many people this week.
It's like it's a fun deck. It's just like you see your combo, and you're just like, all right, cool. Sorry,
but do you see your combo? Do you see your combo round 6 when you're sat across a Bloomlord player doming you for 4 checks? It is what it is.
All right.
All right.
Y'all ready to bet on?
Wait, sorry. Are we allowed to ask, because we have the unique privilege of being here live with you, are we allowed to ask about like what format this is?
Yes. Okay. So I will
what kind
try
of
and
event
give,
we're looking at.
I will try and give as much context as possible. Some other house rules. If they set up an unbreakable board that the opponent has to scoop on, that does not count as killing. They do actually have to hit lethal
Like
on the
go-
turn
okay.
and go for game. If they turn skip off of like an end of turn pop ace overflow, that counts. Combo continues. And if they're on mill and it mills them out, that counts. Everything else, if it's like, like 1 damage short, nothing to come back, I don't care. It didn't kill. And those are our house rules for lethal. Security, if something was loaded and it's public knowledge, I will try and give that out. But sometimes you are going to watch people first check and you're going to lose all your channel points. But you just have to be okay with that. Because I would never say that you should gamble away worthless tokens. But if you hit the follow button and you're new here, it gives you 300 of them to int into the thing. There are 5 games, so don't blow everything on the first one. But you could win pretty big. Some of these people have been around for a while. You're also not allowed to bet on your own clips. In future, there'll be a hashtag so people can submit their own. Jamie's banned from banning on the first. If I see him, I'll kill him in real life.
Chat, don't listen to Andrew. If you put 300 down on the number 1 and win, you got 600 for questions.
I think it's where Hoang goes first because I saw like the map for like the Imperial one, and I think I kind of know, so I can't like.
Yeah, I mean these clips are currently all public because everything is from YouTube videos that are existing. So I'm gonna play the first clip, and you guys are gonna let me know. We got ooh, a cheeky little refresh. They're gonna go over and they are going to evolve into a Geogray. Plays out the Marcus. They're gonna send it sideways, which means they can't choke, and they're gonna pass over 4 memory. So, chat room, is it lethal, or are they living?
All right, hold on. Let me...
Does
So are we
just one
talking-
kill?
Yeah. So realistically speaking, let me think. Jessmon, if it
what format is this? Sorry,
This is BT14.
14. Oh yes, you know what? It does say that on that little video screen. Doesn't it?
So realistically speaking, if Jessmon actually wants to get a kill turn, it needs Savior Huckmon from BT6. Savior Huckmon BT6 was it? Is it at 4 in this clip?
It's at 4. It's BT14.
It's at 4 in this clip. Seeing that they're on the Greymon generally implies that they're probably on the Savior Huckmon. They're going to how much memory? 4 memory. So on 4 memory, they can go Training Boost, Savior play out, Sister CL, Evo Jess for 2. If they wanted to gain 1, if they have the other CL, then Jess for 3, but the same memory threshold. So realistically speaking, they're going to 1 memory more than likely. On 1 memory, you can swing for 2 damage, untap, Swing for an additional 2 damage. His opponent's at 5 securities. Shine Greymon doesn't have any security bombs, more than likely, unless they're running Shining Final Burst, which you don't see very often. So
we
they
know
have
a
it.
guy
In, like,
that'd be on that.
if they're on Shining Final Burst, they're on Shining Final Burst, right? But there's also, I mean, like, if you're trying to lethal from this position, like, you kind of just have to like go. You just play into it, right?
For what it's worth, we have the data on the deck building for Shine in 14. Channel Finding Burst converted worse than almost any other red option card you could have played.
Yeah, so I mean, like, even then, Channel Finding Burst is what, minus 15,000 DP, I believe.
Yes.
At minus 15,000 DP, Jesmon gets an additional 4th. Is it 4th? It's been so long since I've seen Jesmon. Yeah, I literally have it on my wall. Hold up. I'm not joking. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this.
Oh, you got the poster?
Yeah, I literally have it as a poster up
That's
here.
godlike.
Beautiful.
So I'm literally I'm just reading it. So it's plus 3,000 DP. So with the Jesmon, it's at 14,000 DP. That is Gurimon. No, that's Gurimon egg. So it's draw plus Huckmon that gains that searches top 5 for sisters. Plus security attack Greymon, so you're still at 14,000 DP. If you go ahead and you play out the sister that gives you plus 2,000 DP, that puts you at 16,000 DP, so you do escape Final Shining Burst. However, you're probably not going to be able to push through lethal, because then you're sitting at a mere 1,000 DP, so you really died to anything. So let's say Shining Final Burst is not a security. Okay, so with that all being said, that means you're dealing 2 damage into 2 damage, and then you have Chimera on the double sister. So if you go Chimera double sister, that's 5 damage, and then Blitz Omni is game. So given the fact that this person is playing BT6 Savior Huck Greymon build, this is lethal.
Big. All right, we got a lethal locked in, boys. What we thinking?
Oh, it's lethal. 100%. There's no way you would show me like Jesmon in the back with like trading red Greymon. You don't want me to vote lethal. You're out of your mind. This is lethal.
This is the challenge here, chat room, because I want to be a man of the people, and it does look like lethal is winning the vote. But I gotta be a hater for the content, fellas. It's turn 4. Jesmon draws like donkey dog shit half the time,
and that is
there's absolutely no way they have.
Oh wait, this is Jamie. No,
there is absolutely no way there's a Chimeramon in that hand. This is going to be one of those Jesmon turns where they're like, "Look how dope my board was," and then they lose on the clapback. So I'm saying that the Shine Greymon player is living this turn.
All right, we got a living vote locked in. We got 4 memory. So
remember me when I die for the content, chat.
Okay, so there's the savior. Okay.
The event pack savior.
Oh wait, no, sister.
Oh, it's Blitz.
Oh, Blitzin. Check 3 or check top 5. Whiff.
I'm feeling good right now, chat.
Wait, he didn't play sister off of the savior. Oh
no, there we go. So gain the 1. Okay, he untaps. That is. So this would be another checks. 3 damage. And so if he has the Omni.
Yeah.
Omni gets. Okay.
No. See, you know what? I'm so upset because I said, there's no way he drew Chimeramon, and then I just remembered that BT14 Jesmon. They were like, you could search Blitz Omni in this deck. Whatever.
See, I wanted to believe that this person would be super cool and play the BT6 Jesmon, but like this also just works, I guess. You know, either way.
All right, so
sometimes we need a simple tool.
Alrighty then, chat room. This one, we've got another familiar map. Some people might have actually already seen this one, but we've got Yellow Vaccine using the Marcus. For the audio listeners, there's 2 of the BT12 one, the one that lets you walk for free on the into the Greymon cards if it goes sideways. We've got BT14 TK, Memory Setter, there's a Patamon in the back, and a Magna Angemon Ace, which has a Geogray underneath it, just on board. We're looking at, I think it's full 5 cards in security. And this is just one of those games that the Melga player has bricked. So they're just kind of just going to slap the soon-to-be one of on the board and
card.
Just pass it over on 4. So I have a question for all of y'all, and it is it lethal or living?
Oh man.
So are we asking if are we asking if Sekcon kills Garu?
If Yellow Vaccine can kill Garurumon here.
How much security is Garu at?
I believe it is the full 5.
The full 5?
Yeah, they've got it kind of fanned in like a semicircle at the top there.
Is that like the Mario Gaming World, Matt?
That is a Mario's Gaming World special.
And this is BT14 format, right?
This is EX5 format.
EX5. Okay.
EX5,
So
not
this
post-madness.
is Numemon. Oh, so Numemon is available in this format. So because of double Marcus, that's 2 damage. However, 2 damage. The Marcus, the evolution part, I don't think actually matters too much in the grand scheme of things, unless it's like somehow Shine Greymon or some bullshit like that. But given the fact that we were seeing Tokomon plus all the TKs is a realistically yellow vaccine. 2 damage Marcus. Mitama is 1. Even if you cheat out 1, that's only 4 damage. Given the fact that it's only 4 damage, where do you get the other 2 damage from? I mean, you would have to play something like BT1 Serafimon to get the extra crit, and that doesn't seem like it's realistic enough. It's not lethal. This doesn't kill.
Bro has no faith?
I unless it's some crazy tech. Oh, I guess he has one in back. So this is 2, 1, 4, 5. He would still hybrid. I guess you could hybrid for game technically. So specifically, if you go Magna and swing, it has like live or die, whatever. It'll figure it out. I guess because of the overflow, right? So that's also
it has to live.
It has to live. So if the overflow mon dies and it passes over turn, because he's starting at 4 memory, so with double Marcus going to 2, so that means overflow does pass turn. So the Magna Angemon has to live. He's playing into Garu. Garu on average, because this is purple base, where Garu is 8,000 DP, where Garu X is also 8,000 DP. So on average, every 5 and plus actually kills the Magna Ange. Let me think.
There's X antibodies to consider here too. If they check out a Hammer Spark, that could be
right.
Also, Patamon pushing up and evolving into a
Geogray
could turn on both Marcuses, and Shine is a vaccine.
Nah, he's not on Shine. This guy's not playing Shine. You I don't know. Call it a feeling, but I don't think Shine players are gonna be fitting in TK casually when you already have to play 8. So realistically speaking, it's Magna Angemon is 1. It would be 1 damage. Double Marcus is 3 damage. Patamon is 4. Even if you go all the way to Mitamamon and cheat out the extra body, that's 5. If you have the Anjewomon BT3, but he has too much security, so he can't cheat out a Bushi either.
Yep.
Maybe it's like a KnTElixar.
So it would have to be Mitama summon a level 4 into hybrid, but at 2 memory, you realistically speaking don't have enough memory to actually do all that unless you have the Blinding Ray in your hand as setup. Because let's see, Blinding Ray. So I guess if you have Exodia, you win.
I love
it do be like that.
All right, Tom, lock it in. What you got?
He's living.
Listen, this one feels like more of a red herring than the last one, because I saw security attack inherit Greymon in the back there, and I'm like, nah, man, there's like, I had to do it for the content, but come on, like, that's a threat of violence. I have never seen a non-Setcon player get a Magna Anja Ace back to them after they swing it into security. It's just, that card knows what deck it's in. I do, however, I get the feeling that that's the bait. I get the feeling the hand must be absolute gas. It's got to be, there's got to be at least a Blinding Ray.
I mean, the question you should ask yourself is, does Magna Ange even live?
Is that the one of Geogreymon underneath the Magna Anja Ace?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, so there's no TK. So Patamon's not hitting a Geogray out of security, so it's not turning the Marcuses on.
This list is on the other Geogray.
Okay. That's all I need to hear. This is the sackiest yellow vaccine clip you have online. So I am going to say this is lethal, and this person is doing it in an unfair and unjust way.
Right, Marcio?
This is a bombo. This is an insane bombo. It's actually so crazy here. They just have everything. This Patamon is going to hit because theirs always do. And we're going to see something special here, folks. Okay, so I'm going to lock in that they're killing.
All right, so Hoang saying living, and we got 2 lethals, and the chat went with living. Full on pause. We'll get the unsuspend. We'll get the push out. Patamon is going to hit.
One time.
Oh!
All right, what we got? Gonna put, is that Venus to the bottom?
Yeah, so Venus to bottom.
Oh, look at all that memory. Double Marcus push out. And now here's kind of where like the crux of things went. It was whether that level 6 turns into.
They're searching.
Oh,
It's
no.
over, chat. My points. Chat, he's
There's
playing
no
and
way.
trading on the kill turn.
There's no way.
Oh, no, it's doomed. It's so doomed.
What? Marcus sideways? What does it turn into? Nothing. I just want to say, yeah. So
Free me
it's,
from this mortal
yeah,
coil.
they are
There's
gonna
no
try.
way.
The trading snipe.
what's crazy though is Lethal could have been on board if it was Shine Grey top end, because I mean either there's
But
Marcus
they
swinging for
wouldn't
2.
play.
Well, who's playing Magna Anja
it's
Ace
Mon
and
Shine.
Shine?
Yeah.
Marcus,
Well, so
it's Marcus
I think the real giveaway that it didn't have a Shine Greymon top end, or if it was, it'd be like a one of, and then like they have to sack into it, is
Yeah.
like the TK. Because then you're
Yeah,
playing.
the 14s are
Yeah.
good too.
There's too many Marcuses already. Like there's no way you fit all of that. Like Shine Greymon at 8 tamers already is just like not very consistent. So like, why are we adding more tamers? You know?
This is why, some people just can't be enlightened to the idea of Talmon. Security is a resource.
My round 1 at EU Nats, I swear to God, fellas, was playing 11 tamers and 3 of them were Taikari and Shine. Sometimes they just want it more.
Okay,
All
what is
right,
this?
gang. So this one, we'll give even more time for chat because people be breaking this one down. This one's Beelzemon versus
But
Metalesmon.
this
Is
is
this-
you on Beelzemon. So this is the gacha Beelzemon.
Okay, yeah. So this one is like Black Air Forces Beelzemon. No consistency. He walks under a tunnel with a knife out and sees what he can find. You could already see in the hand 2 darkness waves. We are on some criminal shit. But I
Sorry,
got
that's not Darkness Wave. That's the fake Demimon
Darkwing
Darkness
Delusion.
Wave.
Okay, look, we're on a 1+ mill 3 option.
Delulu
right?
King.
We are cheating, okay? Yeah, this one from the simulator. Wanted to mix
Wow,
things up.
DCGO. Do we have anything we'd like to say about DCGO?
Oh man, okay.
This segment's sponsored by.
I knew we would talk about this, and for some reason, I wasn't mentally prepared for this.
Yeah, in the middle of Lethal or Living, here's the plug.
Okay, so I will say the project is going very smoothly. We are almost done with BT15.
Let's go.
BT15 is almost done, so that should be hopefully done within the next week or so. Obviously, there's a lot of bug testing to do and everything like that. Our goal is once 15 has been released and once the sim we feel like is in a good place where like it won't explode and like just break on itself, then I think we can release it to the public. Like I've said before, spring 24 is kind of our goal. So like somewhere between March and May, I think is kind of like that window, I would say. We really do support the community. We really do appreciate the community support on this endeavor. This has been a project that's next month been 1 year in the making. We unveiled DCGO after 9 months, and y'all should have seen where we started. It looked a lot different than what it does today. And there's so much more to come. We're really excited. We want to implement ranked. We want to implement a friends list. We want to implement spectator. Like there's so much we want to do with this program, and we really do appreciate the community support. We appreciate all the content creators that want to showcase this. So the only thing I can really do is thank you all for your support, and I just ask for a little bit more patience on this project because we do, obviously you can never have anything perfect. Like we're not gonna be like 100% bug free on release probably, but at the very least we want to be in a position where we feel very comfortable with the simulator, so that we know it's a game everyone can enjoy.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Way to
planning
get
on
back, man.
Are you planning on having like a feature for like replays, or are you just keeping it like as is for now?
We do want to incorporate replays in the future. At the current moment, replay, spectator, etc., things like those are not actually built into the code. So that's something that you have to build from scratch, and
Yeah, it's a
that
pain.
would take a little bit of time. So
course.
on launch, we likely will not have either of those features, but it's something we will be actively working on. And we do have plans to go all the way up to BT16 at the current moment, and obviously anything that comes afterward, we will likely include it, but at the moment, BT16 is our target.
Yeah, I mean, you're picking a good format to start at. BT16 looks like it's gonna
Yeah,
be so
right?
sick.
The format of all time. Why do we
Post-
only get like
Post
a
the
month
YouTube
with
short.
it?
It's
Yeah.
time. Speaking of YouTube shorts, this one could be a long one, could be a short one. We got to get back because I do got a question for you. Is Sukumon about to get its shit pushed in? Is it cooked?
Oh wait,
All
this
right.
is you on Beels. I think you're gonna forget the Trumon.
Okay, quick things to note. Shut up.
That's a bio, dude. That's a bio.
I want you to know I considered putting that first skill in. 4 security on both sides. 13 cards in my deck. There is 20 cards in trash. 2 Iron Markers. We've got the Rivals Barrage. We've got a Balmon that has been turned into a Sukamon. So that is not going to be evolving. We've got a BT6 Impmon on the field, and we're gonna see them pass over a pretty crisp amount of memory, I would say.
So how much security is the Edamon player at?
They are on 4. They're on 4 security. We got 20 cards in trash, 13 in deck, an Impmon X about to push out of nursery, and a ball. Oh, the Balmon is turned back into Balmon. If that changes things. Now, time to start the 5-minute timer. Start spending, gang.
Does Beelzemon got it like that? Well, not if it's you, my man.
Slander me on my own podcast. Crazy.
Oh, boys, I would love to settle this one. This is the easiest layup. Get that like macro image. Get like the Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. It's me and Balmon doing the layup. There is absolutely no way this is not lethal for Beelzemon. Beelzemon players eat this scenario up in their sleep. They go to bed thinking about how easy it is to disregard Sukamon security. This is EX5.
EX5. 4 security.
And there's no Metal Edamon on board?
No, there is
This is
Chumon.
So
there is a blocker. There's
question:
Digivolve.
Is BL's X in trash?
Yes.
Is X
It's
antibody
over.
in trash? Is there X antibody
Yeah.
in the trash?
It will show up.
Okay, so either way, right? So realistically
Oh,
speaking,
yes, it's in trash. There's a Ball X in hand.
Sure. Okay. So you have one Targetmon is a Targetmon sucks. I hate Targetmon. I think that is like what
Booty
the
card.
it's one of the worst
Stinky
cards to
booty.
support I've ever seen printed for an archetype. It's absolutely terrible. And then realistically speaking, the inheritable underneath the Targetmon doesn't actually matter. The memory gain, I mean, like even if you hit Wizardmon, I don't think it actually matters too much in the grand scheme of things. So the play that you have to do is you evo Balmon X pop Targetmon, that gets rid of the blocker, grab back the X antibody, assuming it's in the trash, Rivals Barrage, grab back BL's X. You double swing the 2 Impmons, that puts your opponents at 2 because and then you swing Balmon X antibody underneath, evo BL's X, burn 2 lethal.
It's just like the simulation.
So-
Literally.
That is pretty
So
clean. I like it.
So that assuming we do have BL's X antibody, that is lethal, yes.
All right. Anyone else?
You're getting cooked by this Trumon.
Okay. Yeah. For context, I got cooked by the Chumon in game 1, and a Keenan. I got cooked by Chumon and Keenan in game 1. But this is a different game. To be fair, is this prediction still going? This one was nice and timely. I gave everyone 5 minutes. But
That's true. Suka's curse from security would ruin this, huh?
Yeah, I mean, doing security checks is playing the game, and that's dangerous.
hate
That
that.
is.
So realistically speaking, we do Balmon X we do BL's X burn 2 instead to secure the lethal. So it's burn 2, he goes to 2, that deals 3, hits Suka curse. So with Mako double stack, you also have Bellstar, but I don't know how much
Yeah.
Bellstar actually
I think the
plays, so-
Bellstar's a red herring here. I think the
Yeah,
Bellstar is in this
Bellstar-
clip because it's like, oh, what if the rush is lethal? But that's
Yeah.
never happened.
Right,
I
so
think-
BL's X is 4 cost Evo. With the it's 4 cost Evo unless like a random proto form shows up, I guess. So Mako gives you back 2 memories. BL's X becomes a 2 cost. You have to gain 1 memory from somewhere to play around Suka's curse. So at the end of the day, if you have Suka's curse, you have Suka's curse, I guess. Because Bellstar it costs more than 1 at the moment because you don't have enough cards in trash.
Mhm.
So I guess the question then becomes, does he have Suka's curse or not?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Fair enough. I've seen. I mean, this player has also been on Flame Hellscythe before. This joint goes crazy. The greatest removal spell in the game. Flame Hellscythe, play King Sukamon, set to 3, shrink by 6. Goodbye. But to be fair, someone in chat, the person, I love this. This is what I love about Will It Kills. Someone in chat going, they could lose this, and I see no channel points bet on they are just like they live 300 points on it kills.
Vote with your wallet. That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, someone
Alright.
you've got 40 seconds to jump in and just steal. You know, I'm gonna end the prediction here.
Can
'cause
I
y'all are
make a
slick.
case here? If this is you piloting this deck,
Yeah.
I've bone chilling fear that what you're about to do is something none of us have considered, which we've not asked how many rivals, barrages, and wizardmons have been accounted for. You're about to turn those 1-cost mill 3s into goddamn hammer sparks. This is going to be the most egregious off the top milling I've ever seen, and it's going to make this deck look like a memory printer.
I mean,
There's absolutely. I've already voted lethal. I'm drawing my line in the sand.
that's respectable.
But there are numerous ways this gets stupid.
All right.
Roll it.
8.6 channel points going in on it kills. Not a single person seeing if they can get lucky and get themselves a whole suite. We're gonna find out whether one memory is enough to present lethal. Play
Next
around
off the
all the
top.
sec bombs. I think there's even a maybe an Edamon in security. Maybe we're gonna.
Oh, we're swinging ball first.
You are a brave man.
Oh, we just okay. We're just not doing the BLZX play. So I guess
26 cards in trash. We're gonna swing. We're gonna have it blocked. We're chilling.
Okay. Let him cook.
No memory tax. Nice and simple. X. Let's go get back our X antibody. There's proof that BLZX is in trash as well. Pop the memory blocker.
Oh god, chat, he's gonna hammer spark. Chat, no.
I will not be getting cooked by no Chumon for this game. Oh, look at that. Is that a Deathslinger? Who saw that coming? That's crazy. How did that get there?
I love these decks.
Well.
It's just some peak Digimon.
Damn, look at all that memory. That's crazy.
It wasn't peak when we were labbing it out for regional.
We're going to swing one, and then we're down to 3. Bill Star for 1. Darkwing Delusion mills the last couple of cards in our deck.
And you
Another slinger!
Oh, that's crazy.
Get me out.
Anyway,
Get me out, chat.
look at that Whoop Impon. What's it doing there? I'll be honest, I've lost what's going on. I think Beelzemon procced from security accidentally.
I can tell this is you, Andrew, because you insist on taking every single card every time you look through it. Beautiful.
So, yeah, anyways.
Wow.
Okay.
You were right, BillsX was there. However, we are not interacting with security. Bye.
Come on. And you're gonna kill the
Oh
Chumon.
my god!
That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, they were cooked. There was no shot.
That was like the series of like most favorable outcomes you could have
Yeah.
asked for. Dog.
I said last game that was going to be the sackiest, yellow-vackiest Beelzemon clip I've seen in a long time.
Okay, yeah, one thing that I want to show on this list, we are on 7 Darkness Waves.
I hate you.
This list exists to make Beelstar cost 1 and shit out Whoop Impmons for the rest of the game.
Dude, I'm cooking. He's burning gasoline in a frying pan.
Carbon monoxide poisoning. And everyone bet on Lethal. Who could have seen it coming? So nobody's getting any points.
You see, if I had done it for the content there, would have come through, put a couple down.
Yeah,
Well
to be
done,
fair,
chatters.
That would have been OD. Just like, vote Lethal on the show and then just drop like 10 on Living just as insurance.
Just to see it, yeah.
Next clip.
All right, next clip. We've got unique set ID Crossheart versus
And this
Shine
is-
Greymon.
And this is DHM.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
That's
this is
Harry.
DHM.
UK top player DHM.
Yes, this is top A Alphamon player DHM on his.
Wait,
other
who's the
pet
one?
deck.
Who's
What
the
is-
one
That
swinging?
doesn't. The one swinging. So you're gonna see. We're gonna unpause this. That's gonna be Shine Greymon passing 3 memory.
Okay.
3 memory. Just the next 7S on board. 2 of the Trio Tamer. 2 Taikis, and there is a Shoutmon in the back.
And for clarification, was this before or after Harry knew about the cross-7 ruling?
Yeah, are
This-
we cheating?
This is the.
Are we cheating?
He is not cheating. I had to go
He's not
find a
cheating,
clip where
okay.
we weren't cheating.
Every
Wait, so
event.
now I have to ask. What?
Okay, so let me let you in on the beautiful wonder of again.
Okay.
We shout outs to our UK TOs. We have some really great TOs here, and we had to have them do us a real big solid last time and reach out, get actual final definitive clarification on if Cross 7S could see the pieces going into the discard pile on the sequence of losing the other pieces from another Cross 7S. So does Cross 7S from like a king, or is it Shoutmon King mode? That adds all the name back.
King version, yeah.
Yeah. King mode. What am I on about? King version. There was a issue where depending on which like declared piece went through, because there is no timing resolving on cards being in the discard pile versus the resolved effect. The Cross 7S was seeing all of the unique names back in the discard pile instantly and going, oh well, I can Digicross for one.
They ruled it like that for like one event where it's like you could cross with the pieces on your superior mode.
Yeah.
So you could cross with your S7 superior mode, cross with the cards as they like hit the trash.
Yeah. And
then make a new one and make it cost like practically nothing.
Yeah, and that was the ruling given
but
to us.
But we couldn't get like a clarified ruling, so we went to an event and they ruled it as like, yeah, you could do that. That was for BT12, and then in BT13 we asked again, and they were like, "No, you can't do that."
To be fair,
well, it was even weirder too, because the original discussion had come at the end of like DC1, where we'd had like the what's it called? We just had the BT12 cards revealed, and we'd asked the guys there, and they were like, "Yeah, man, like everything about this checks out."
Bombo away.
Yeah, Bombo away. And then the last DC1 event had that ruling in place. Then the first Ulti Cup for 2023 had it in place. Or sorry, not Ulti Cup, Monocolor though. The first regional in the UK had it in place, and then after that we were like, let's just get like Bandai to tell us.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that we were pretty sure it was wrong, but if your head judge is going to rule it that way, I mean,
like, that's how it works. Then
you get your free combo. But I did look
All
for a clip where he wasn't cheating.
Okay, cool.
All right, back to the clip.
All right, so we've seen Shangreymon pass over 3 memory. There's a Shoutmon in the back. X7S with yay number of sources, an undisclosed number of cards in trash, 2 Taikis, 2 Trio Tamers, and the player is DHM. For those that's relevant for, everyone has anyone even said that it doesn't kill? Oh, everyone thinks it.
Nobody on Earth was built to get sacked by like, it was like, yeah, man, options don't activate in security, no sacking I'm happening here, I'm all the way through. Dude is going to hit, he's going to fail to remove a Greymon name, and he's going to hit 3 consecutive. Are there any in play? No, there are no BC13 Marcuses in play. He's going to get 3 memories stolen. Like, this is going to be one of the least favorable moments you've ever seen in Digimon, and you're going to be like, there's absolutely nothing he could have done. The Shine Greymon player is living this turn.
Respectable. All right.
HoangZero from the HoangZero channel.
So Cross 7S is dealing 2 damage, right? Like, just confirming?
Mm-hmm.
So this is 2 damage, and he has 2 white tamers, you said?
Yes.
So at 2 white tamers, he goes to 5 memory. So even if there's like some universe where he hits like 3 BT13 Marcuses or whatever, he goes down to 2 memory. He goes down to 2 memory. And 2 memory is still enough for you to throw out a cross 3, cross 4, and a cross 5. So the Shoutmon, so he has 3 damage represented on board, and then he has to spit out an additional 2 attacks. So the question then becomes, what other crossheart pieces does he actually have? Like, how many Darulumons, Ballistamon, Starmons, etc., right?
Yeah, that is a question. If only I had the answer.
This is the unique set ID build,
yes,
right?
This is unique set ID. So he is on most.
The ratios in this are super screwy.
He's on Blue Greymon. He's on Blue Greymon. It's going to be a Geo Greymon that's going to pop out of security, right? The security Geo Greymon, and then it's going to enable the Blue Greymon. That's
because the Blue Greymon is when attacking, right?
Yeah, it would miss timing.
It would miss timing.
On the second, he's going to like, I don't know, make another cross 7 or something.
He's going to summon it out of thin air, bro.
Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon set to the field.
So this is a build where he's playing like it's a Highlander, right?
Yeah, it's very Highlander. Everything like 3x7s 3 cross king version.
So let's see. I'm trying to look at this. So he it's kind of hard for me to tell because I just don't know like what sources are out of the picture, right? Like I don't know like how many shop monsters you have access to. I don't know how many. I don't know if Ballista, Dorulu, etc. is like in trash or not. So I guess it's a little bit difficult to call that. But let's say in a perfect world that everything goes according to plan. So like let's say Cross 7S swings out for 2 damage. He doesn't hit. Nothing egregious happens in security. You swing out with a Shoutmon for 1 damage. The Shoutmon likely dies because it's just is what it is. Like if you hit BT13 Marcus, it dies. If anything but BT like 4 or BT 12 Marcus kills it. So then he has to get out an extra 2 damage. If you go cross, if it dies, you're in a good position. I guess if it lives, you're also fine because technically you could go cross 5, swing out 2, but then you don't have enough memory to actually digicross again because if he's only playing 1 of every single digicross, and I see multiple Shoutmons
It's like
underneath.
1 to 2. There are some duplicates.
Okay, so
the stand. If
like
I remember this list, I don't think this ever saw tournament play. It's like he's basically playing the minimum expected copy of the like goddamn they hold the deck down staples. And then there's like a blue flare Greymon in there for
a 1 of Ignite, a 1
a 1 of Ignite for bad man crimes.
Okay, so I could sit here and I could like try to figure out if he's gonna lethal or not. But I think the real answer is we're gonna say he lives because if I say he lethals, that justifies building Highlander, and I refuse to justify that. Yeah, we're not. I'm not letting that fly. So for my own morals, he's living.
Get ready to open TCG player.
All right, Marcio, your boy.
I'm a believer.
This man has seen things too many times. All right. You said it was lethal. I will not put text where it does not belong. Chat also thinks it's lethal. They have been hit by this man too many times. We see a Dorulu go under Trio Tamer, Starmon's under Trio Tamer. We have a Shoutmon on board, so we can Digicross. He is running that motherfucker into security. Why? Okay. That's going to be 2 checks, no options. So we're down to the last one. Taiki brings back Shoutmon.
I've already been owned.
Okay. X3.
Fine. Does the Cross 3 die so he gets back the shout?
It is going to swing. And then y'all like role-playing, guy?
Yep.
Oh, the final crossblade! I forgot about final crossblade.
He's dead.
I forgot that goddamn card existed, and then I've just been filled with the rage of remembering that it's searchable.
I forgot about final crossblade.
You ever have that card where you just want to bury it in the back of your mind so badly?
Please stop thinking about that. Yeah,
that's final crossblade for me. I look at this, I'm like, there's no way this is relevant, and then it's just like, well, okay, we're locking it in the back of our head. Whoops.
Okay, well, y'all doing this point deck string like how he does it. I'm just like, he's about to drop a 9 cost option and nobody's ready for it.
I enjoy my channel points, chat.
Yeah, all right. And then the final one. Are we feeling lucky?
I'm already locked in. I already see, like, I've let this all out.
All right, no elaboration. What is it?
I will. What, me?
Yeah, what is it?
This is the.
For context, Imperial is doing the combo.
This is
oh god, this is Memprinter. Is this BC12?
Yeah, this is Memory Printer.
This was the UK Games Expo top English shots Shinny Carry. Where the entire
he didn't top, he was like the best placing Imperial.
Never mind. I missed my stories.
But this list was basically like
I'm a historian, I am.
Context of the list, we designed this list to have like a not so sucky matchup into Beelzemon, so that he was like you'd go into Quartz and then like spit out the 2 bodies, and it's like they interact with the Quartz, they leave the 2 bodies. If they interact with the bodies, you have the Quartz, and then like you play from there. And the idea is just like to print as much memory as possible.
I'm trying to think if it would matter. Is this pre-ban list or post-ban? If it's
this is BT12 store champion, top 4.
Post.
So yeah, it would have to be post-ban list. What was hitting?
Wait, what was hitting Imperial that mattered?
Nothing mattered in Imperial.
It wasn't Imperial. It's just like Beelzemon was just hit with like Blossom.
I was trying. It's Blossom. That ban list. Blossomon, Wear promo,
and Grand promo.
Grand, yeah,
and the Impmon.
Yes, because the ban list prior to that was just the 1 Greymon. That's right. Okay, I'm with it. Nothing matters. No ban list is relevant. Damn, dude. I mean, how God-given is this Quartzmon, right?
Well, okay, so my question is, does the current state right now, like that's how we're starting the turn, right? Like this, we're starting with Quartz V on board,
All right.
XP in back.
You know, let me play out the rest of the turn because we're having Gallantmon swing here, which is going to pop.
Okay,
Let's play out the rest of the clip, and we're gonna see Guilmon search finds Gallant X. We're gonna go into that, pops the imp, and then they are gonna pass over 5, and they are gonna clear board. So
okay,
now,
there you go.
Oh, okay.
oh, pass over 6. My bad. So, and obviously they're pushing out.
And that's 3 security for Gallantmon. And BT12 Gallantmon had
memory for Imperial.
Yeah, BT12 Gallantmon had just the most miserable security I'd ever played. So
which Vmon is underneath the XV?
Roll the clip.
That is
End of
BT12.
turn.
Yo, a
Okay,
lot
so
of people
BT12,
got no
so-
faith. I respect it. Not everyone throwing rock.
Okay, so this isn't this stack doesn't have jamming on it, so you have to slam Stingmon for 3, assuming you're on the BT12 Stingmon. So that you go. I mean, not BT12. What is it?
I
Starter
don't know if you-
at
ST9.
8. Yeah, ST9, I think.
Mhm.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw
started at-
earlier,
Uh-huh.
but earlier in the trash there was a spiking strike. This list played 2 spiking strikes. I don't know if that influences the rest of the clip.
What is a spiking strike?
It
Spiking
plays-
Strike plays the
Amen, brother.
Stingmon.
It's
And
3 costs to play Stingmon, so you could essentially play the memory gain Stingmon for 3.
Oh my god.
it had enough. You could tag a Digimon to lose a memory when it deleted as well. It was
And
like,
burn a security.
yeah, it was Beelzemon hate all the way down.
Okay, so let's see. So realistically speaking, if you go,
He probably doesn't have it. I don't know, maybe.
if 2's in the trash already, there's no way you play 3, right? Like surely.
No, it was. I saw 1 in the trash, and I remember the list played. I think 2.
I thought I saw 2 in the trash.
Okay.
I
But
Judge,
emphasis on the word I think. I don't know.
Judge, can we get a rewind?
You know, because I'm feeling generous. You get it this week.
Wait, no, you need to rewind a bit more.
Yeah,
Yo,
you guys go
even
back
more
further.
than that? Damn.
Judge, can we get another judge who will rewind further?
Yeah, there's 2.
Oh, okay, there's 2.
So I'm not crazy. So at 6 memory, it has to be starter deck Stingmon if we want to keep the most memory. I mean, like
Yeah.
at that point, it really doesn't matter, but because then the other Stingmon will just gain back the memory. So fundamentally, they're both 3 memory. So you go to 3 memory, make Pyildramon double swing unless it's new Pyildramon, which is significantly worse than old Pyildramon, unironically. Oh god. What does new Pyildra even do? That's the great
The
question.
BT12 one was a
Freeze
source
is-
stripping
Yeah.
monster.
Oh yeah. No. Okay. So
The
if
inherent
he
was
just-
gain 1 memory though, right?
Yes, it was game
It's
on
on
memory,
attack, gain a memory.
End of attack, I think.
So if he has any semblance of actually killing here, I mean, it's probably going into starter deck by Beelzemon, double swinging, so that's 2 damage, both with jamming. And then if you Evo into starter deck Imperial Ultramon, spit out double body, because you go 3, gain back 1, so you actually have enough memory to go Imperial Ultramon. Dragon mode, and then Dragon mode spits out double, and then you Jawgrass again, and that's lethal technically. Similarly, if you what is new Dragon mode even do again?
He
Unsuspend his Digimon and then swing, and then does fighter mode unsuspend on like Evo or some shit?
Yeah,
no.
the BT12 one does, right?
BT8 does as well on Evo.
BT
No, wait, that's when it's
12 Dragon unsuspends on Evo.
Yeah.
Okay, so fighter mode does not unsuspend.
No.
Okay, so fighter mode does not unsuspend. In BT8 does not unsuspend on Evo, correct? Yes, it does not. Okay, so in order to actually kill here, you would need Dragon mode from starter deck to actually spit out double body into another Jawgrass. Assuming we're not playing some wacky shit. Which is like the big caveat here, because from what I've seen from these clips, there's a lot of wacky shit.
Yeah, I
Of
mean,
course.
you saw 2 spiking strike in trash. You know he's on some wacky shit.
Right. And so given the fact that this is hyped up memory printer, I've never heard of this, but I'm gonna believe in the gas. It's lethal. I believe.
Yo, locking it in. It's lethal.
Yeah.
Chat just barely the most contested one. It kills, apparently.
Oh,
Tom?
easy. This is an easy kill. You don't even need to vote for me. Yeah.
All right, Tom, what's it gonna be?
Oh man,
Do you
this is a
believe?
toughie. This is a
You have to stand
toughie.
up. You can't all
Yeah, I
four
know,
be
I
lethal.
know.
You gotta fight against the crowd.
This is the other thing too, is fellas, I haven't won a round yet, and I'm acutely aware of that.
You know, if you get all of them wrong, you actually know the answer to all of them.
That's true. And I was doing it on purpose for content. For real. Listen, I have VC12 Gallantmon has just one of the most embarrassingly garbage securities of any deck in any format. It is just miserable. We're gonna see like 2 Biomerge Takata fall out of that security and do nothing. But the last security card is like, I don't know, Crimson Blaze or some shit, and it'll just steal the game.
Gaia.
Like, this is the most like Gallantmon. If absolutely not, and like BT12 Store Champs, this would have been right at the start of the format. The hopium was up. If you guys were not in those Gallantmon chats, the hopium was there. The SR Gallantmon from BT12 went for like 10 USD on TCG Player for a month. People were crazy. And I happen to recognize those art sleeves, so I have a feeling this is Mr. Tricky Sticks. Shout out to Tommy Tricks. Just
No, that's not.
Oh, this is not.
No, that's the
Is
one
that not his?
from
Nah, that's not his
Slice
stuff.
and Dice. I think
Oh,
that's
dude. Oh.
Nathan.
Never mind, gentlemen. Gallantmon will let me down. Well, no, but I want to. Gallantmon will let me down one last time. I hate to be a conformist here, gentlemen, but Imperial German has lethal 7 ways to Sunday.
All right, a full lethal lock, and let's find out if everyone. Well, to be fair, there's people in chat that might make some good money.
All right.
Imperial push out, and look at that hand size. Bro's got everything. The McDonald's
If I
counter as
get
well.
this wrong and Gallantmon clutches this out, I'm never going to be allowed back on that Discord.
Before
Oh,
it
it's
bounced back
new
up.
Dino V.
Yeah, so you get to suspend something, and then we get to swing. So
How does the trash one security inherit?
yeah,
too?
he's gonna push out 2.
Oh dear God.
And then we are gonna swing over the rookie. Burn one.
I know it's gonna happen.
Was that HPD?
Oh,
I think we're gonna see HPD.
Jogris. Go into Imperial.
Okay.
Nidhogg. Ashpede.
Ashpede.
Out it goes. Keep printing memory, boys. The 3rd Beelzemon is gonna swing 1, hits a boost. Go into Quartz.
Okay.
It does not kill. This is with everything.
I've ruined it.
Kill. He plays for a lockdown.
See, the lesson we've learned here, chat, is if that Beelzemon was starter deck Beelzemon, that was lethal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the real takeaway from here.
Sometimes
BT12 Beelzemon has let me down too many times, and it's let me down once again.
Is that just like Yumon in the play the rest of the clip? I think he just loses, right? Because he
yeah, no, this is unbreakable board. He's cooked.
No, because there's a Mon in the back now. Oh no, he's evoing and raising. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's over. Like this game is won.
Okay, he wins,
But he did not bombo, and that's
He
what
does not
matters.
win channel points today.
Yes, sir.
sometimes the win might not be the fastest.
You know, the hater
Yeah.
said I couldn't do it. Honestly, great call from the haters. The Imperial Discord in shambles. They hate this guy.
Listen, this is gonna be rough when
Let's just move on. Just move on.
Yeah, I love Gallantmon still. I just don't think it did shit in 12.
All right.
Let's move on.
So, boys, what do we think? Lethal Living? Mainstay?
Well done, Andrew. You have once again cooked up a way to make me and Marcio show our whole asses on the internet. It is beautiful. This is a masterpiece. You've been cooking kerosene flame, prime A1 steak. You have nailed it. Well done, my friend.
Alrighty, so if people do want to submit clips so we can do this weekly or bi-weekly or something like that, we'll use the hashtag M4GClips on Twitter, and eventually I'll sort out like a form so that way people can send them like blind. But if you want to send clips so you can make my life easier for the next Lethal or Living, make sure to do that. People on YouTube, if you want to play along next time, come watch the podcast live.
What's in store?
Now, since that has derailed the podcast by a sizable amount, it was supposed to be 3 clips, and I found 2 more, and I went, we gotta play.
The second one. The yellow vaccine one killed me. I think that one was the one that hurt me the most.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Honestly, it's so easy to find OTKs. It's so much harder to find stuff that just leaves like a pixel, or they just go a route that you weren't expecting. I'm waiting for everyone to be all in. There's gonna be that person that bets like 50, and then like last check Trident Gaia smokes 9 Digimon and just kills everything. I look forward to that day where someone loses their whole house in security.
You know, we're gonna see like the next like 5 clips you receive are gonna be like a Deva mirror with like the world's least exciting setup. But you're like, I don't know, bro. He swung 5 level 5s at me. I died. Alrighty. So as we have now, we are 22 minutes past the hour. We're making great time here, gentlemen. Thanks again for anyone tuning in live. Remember, this is a great chance to follow the Twitch and YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, subscribe on Twitch if you're so primed, for example, to use your Twitch Prime.
It gives you channel
Amazon
points
Prime
to enter the next Lethal or Living.
And please, of course, feel free to go over to youtube.com/ I should have known this, at HoangZero, and subscribe over there, because what the heck are you doing if you're not already subscribed? Like, the tier list is coming. I heard it's a little burnt, but whatever. It's on the way.
Very soon.
Hey,
So yeah, we better see some numbers going up. That would be awesome.
Tier list day is amazing. I wake up. I put my
Boys,
PJs
new
on.
movie night dropped. We gotta
it's
come
like,
around.
I get my bowl of cereal, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And I just like watch the tier list for like however long it is. It's I love it.
Dude,
Probably at least an hour again, but you know.
I start off. I will not lie. I skip to the end just to see, and then we watch it all day. I need context. You know, I just need some context.
Nah, I'm
I
always
think Zero might be the dude who I have never met, but I have gone to bat for more than any person on earth. Every time he's like, listen, dude, Gallantmon's coming back. I'm like, my man, listen, it's not over.
Dude, so speaking of Gallantmon, so I think this was during EX2, and he was like, surely Gallantmon loses to D Reaper. And I know he knows it doesn't actually he knows the actual answer.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, dude, trust. And I'm like, you know the answer, I know the answer. Why are you trying to gaslight me here, dude? So it's like, dude, just give it like a couple games, dude. It'll be easy. And we play. Obviously, D Reaper loses, right? Gallantmon whops the floor with it. It's almost like Gallantmon counters D Reaper or some shit. And he goes, see, I told you Gallantmon wins. And I'm like, God.
I would love to get like any longtime watchers of the pod who, I mean, we've now got enough of these things that there's probably like an entire day's work that you could sit listening to our terrible card game takes. I would love to see how many times we have titled the section of the podcast Gallantmon Cope. Look, dude, it's not my fault. Array Karzamit is one of the GOATs. The guy wins Evo Cups. It's a thing to do, and those Mil Gallantmon lists are a work of art, and that's all I'll have to say. But as I was saying before, if you have not considered following everybody here, please go ahead and do so. We appreciate the support on the content because, as you can tell, a lot of work went into this episode. We're back now, baby. But, Lethal or Living was a work of love from Mr. Elixir. So go ahead.
And if people are happy to do it more often, I will keep trying to do it as many weeks as I'm able to. So send me clips at #M4G clips because I need them.
Perfect. And I would say that constitutes a mid-podcast plug section. So let's go ahead and talk about some data-driven stats here, fellas. Thanks, as always, to the good folks over at Digimon Card Meta. I'll go ahead and pop the format for the East over in our collective little chat. So if you are so inclined, you can pull up some deck lists and we can go through some. The format for BT16 over in Japan has been really interesting because there's always this kind of, if you talk to folks over there, at the end of a really long competitive leg of tournaments, you're going to see the standings in terms of like topping lists and the proportional representation of certain archetypes really gets shifted in wild and wacky ways.
And then there's one tournament and this one deck just shows up
and
it's Numemon. And
it's Numemon. Numemon is, of course, the deck to talk about here for JPBT16. It is now squeezed itself up to, let me go ahead and pull up Polvito so I can track the stats. Shout out to the good folks at Polvito on Twitter. Or X, you know what it is. At AldorTCG. Let me get the stats up. But essentially, we are looking at kind of an unprecedented 2-horse race. It's been a little while since it's basically like our Western BT12 where it was like the dog and then the guy with the leash. Beelzemon and Hunters really ran the show for us in 12. And the Japanese BT16 format is a beautiful game of can the Numemons beat the ever-loving crap out of Imperial before Imperial seals the deal? And statistically speaking, if you believe the results of these last recent Asian finals and JP finals, No, there's absolutely no stopping Numemon. This deck will kick your ass in 9 different unique ways, all printing memory and blast evolving now. Have you gentlemen had a chance to play with any future format BT16? And
Yes.
if so, have you played Numemon at all? Because what a
Yes.
deck, right?
What's your take on it, Hoang? I want to hear. I've only played like the BT15
So
version of Nume.
I played a fair amount of BT16. And I stayed up to watch the Japanese finals and everything. And I do think if you look at the local data, and mind you, the locals that get posted on like CG Guides, Twitter, etc., some of those events are like 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to
So-
filter some of those.
Yeah, so you gotta filter some of that out. But if you pay attention and you look, you notice like, okay, Tyrant Kabuterimon, for example, Tyrant has like, I think the most local tops or something like that.
That's
But
correct.
the
Might
deck,
go.
but the deck absolutely bites the dust in major tournaments.
Yep.
It's like a noob stomper deck, right?
Okay, you say that, but I'm
Kinda,
looking.
yeah.
I'm seeing Tyrant Kabuterimon has 2
It's all
Evo.
local.
It has 2 Evo
Oh.
cups.
Oh, sure. It does have 2 Evo Cups, Andrew. Do you want to guess how many armor Vaccine has? Do you want to just throw the number out?
Alrighty, then I rest. I'll shut up.
So mind you, Evo Cups in Japan are like 30 people, mind you. So it's
they're like
still
big
like
sport
it's
champs.
Okay,
they're pretty small, right? But Tyrant Kabuterimon across the board it's that deck where it's like it does really well into like local sized events, and then like these major events, so like Japanese nationals, Singapore nationals, etc. It just absolutely eats shit. Like it's just not very good. And I think and then you think about it, you're like, okay, why is that the case? Like, why is Tyrant struggling so much into like some of these decks? And I think one of the biggest things is, for one, Heaven's Judgment is kind of insane right now, right? Every good tier 1 deck has access to Heaven's Judgment. Heaven's Judgment absolutely decimates. So like you look at Rapidmon, you look at Imperial, look at Nume, and all 3 of those decks have Heaven's Judgment, right? And Heaven's Judgment is just the biggest middle finger towards Tyrant Kabuterimons, and I think it's just it's going to be that way for a while. Tyrant Kabuterimon also does not have a very good matchup into Rapidmon in general. And armors is kind of like wonky as well. And Numemon is not any easier, so it's just Tyrant is really cool, and Tyrant has a lot of really cool gimmicks, but Tyrant in the grand scheme of things at a higher level, like once you kind of like think about how you beat Tyrant, it's not very hard to like slot in those cards. And so and then this next one is gonna like probably have me on like people are probably gonna like shoot me for this one. I also don't think Imperial is tier 1.
Okay, I'm so glad you said this, because this is going to be something I wanted to talk about. Where like
we had a discussion on the card today.
Yeah, in the taxi to locals today, we had this talk. At some point, as a community, we have got to get better at talking about law of large numbers.
Yeah,
because if 80 Imperial players show up to an event, bro, some of them are going to do something.
Yeah, so like you look at Imperial and you look at the new support that it got, and like the Vmon, the XV, this thing, like everything from like 3 to 5 doesn't actually do anything different from what it already did. Like the new Imperial Dragon mode is really cool because it denies training boost, but then it's like, how important is that into a format where Rapidmon and Numemon is running around, right? And the answer is it's not very important. Like it's a very good card, don't get me wrong, but into tier 1, a lot of those tier 1's decks don't actually rely on training boost as heavily. Like when Rapidmon is warp evolving in a Rapid X, or Numemon is just like casually going Nume Monzai and then like whatever, like it just don't rely on it as much. So Dragon mode, very good card, very cool. But I don't think it's that crazy. So I think Imperial, it doesn't fix any of its previous issues. It's still a Joggers deck, so it's like consistency is a really big factor where it's just shooting itself constantly in the foot. It's like, okay, I have XVmon, but I don't have Stingmon. Okay, well now I'm totally screwed. Oh, dude, well I have both of these and I have Beelzemon and I swing like 3 times, and now what? Like, what's my follow-up play? It's just all this. So you look at like major events, you look at Japanese nationals and all that stuff, and like, where is Imperial? Oh, it's not there. Like Imperial did not make a dent whatsoever. So decks like Imperial, deck like Tyrant, I think do really well at a local level. But then like the true deck that is doing well is like Rapidmon is doing very well, Armors is doing very well, and Numemon is doing very well. Those are like the 3 best decks in BT16 in my opinion. That I think are going, like, that's actually like what you should be on your radar, right? So Numemon got top 3 out of 4 in the Japanese nationals. And prior to that, Numemon was not doing shit in locals, like pun intended. It wasn't doing anything at local level, right? Locals was Green, Rapidmon, Tyrant, Imperial, whatever. No Nume. But then, coming Japanese Nationals, Numemon is the second most represented deck in Japanese Nationals. And why is that? Well, it's because Numemon has a really great niche in the format. It's probably the fastest aggro deck in the format. Against Rapidmon, you have access to Digivolve, which is one of the best ways to actually beat Rapidmon. Your deck, you have access to Ruin Mode, you have access to Valk, you have access to Venus. Like, you have these amazing yellow top ends as well in the control setting, and you have Numemon floating like crazy. So when you put all that together, it does very well as the projected best decks in the format. I think the deck that probably gives you a run for your money realistically is like Armors, because like Magnemon X is like you can't get through it as easily as the other decks. But again, you have blockers, right? You just block out the Magnemon X swing, they're no longer invincible, and then you go Warumon's ID, Digivolve, and then smack the hell out of them. So really, it's kind of like a triangle format. Not even a triangle, but like all three. I feel like any of the three could beat the other. Like any of the three could beat the other two. It really just depends on like you as a pilot, how you go about it, and like your techs and stuff like that. Because like if you tech in Venusmon, obviously you have like some different caveats and stuff like that into these other matchups and whatnot. But I think really Armors, Nume, and Rapid, those are like the three decks you care about. Everything else I think is fake.
Where do you come down
I don't disagree.
Where do you come down on the blue Armors versus the yellow Vaccine Armors? Do you feel like there's a notable difference in terms of like I've noticed a lot of the representation data difference. Like specifically Singapore seems to really like the blue base with like the real Vmon beatdown package. But like, we can't talk enough about that one yellow Vaccine Armor list that just keeps winning.
So I mean, it's just like, do you prefer a more aggressive approach? Do you prefer a more control heavy approach? Like you go the yellow base, and like now your Rapidmon and stuff is all online, and that's really great. Like Patamon's a broken card, Emissary is a broken card, and so like I completely get it. Like you want the best of both worlds. You want to be able to tap into both Rapidmon's control aspects and Magnemon's like tower aspect, and that's totally valid, I think. Whereas if you want to go like the more beatdown style of like Armors with blue base, because then you have access to like all like the Vmon, the Louis, etc. I think both approaches are totally valid. Personally, I am a fan of the more control-heavy aspect of the yellow Vaccine build, specifically because I think it does better into the Numemon style of decks. But I don't think either is necessarily wrong, and they're all probably competitive, but if it came down to it, I would prefer the yellow version, especially when you do have access to cards like Angemon. As you can see on the screen, actually, Angemon being able to just smite any virus Digimon gives it a really nice caveat into this format, because like decks like Numemon, you have like a fair amount of virus Digimon in the deck. I think Numemon itself is virus, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, so then it's like, okay, well, if they're ending their turn on Numemon to like trying to like play around the flow, then Angemon just like smites it, and then it's like, oh, well, they're not floating anymore, haha, like, so that's kind of just how I view it. I think there's a lot of room in BT16, obviously, and I think BT16 is probably the best format we've had since BT8. Realistically, my personal favorite format is like BT4, BT5. But if you ask the general person, like the average person, they'll probably say BT8 was probably the best, which says a lot about 0-2. Like 0-2, the best season after all.
Yeah, they keep getting bangers.
The answer is no, because I hate 0-2. I think 0-2 is the second worst season of all time, but I digress.
Post the clip, chat. Get that clip button ready.
I will not elaborate what my favorite format is. It was BT9. I'm sorry. I loved BT9. It was sick.
Guys, I have to go. I might have to leave.
I'm sorry. I just OTK'd people with Grandis, and I felt nothing. It was great. I love bugs.
Marcio, the really important context, Hoang, is that Marcio just never got over how dirty green players got done by Eosmon, and he's had that thing in his back forever.
Okay, so I don't know how long you guys have been watching my content, but when I was doing a BT6 set reveal or whatever, like way back when the cards first got released, I think I literally, I obviously I played it up a little bit, but I had like a mental breakdown on stream over Eosmon, because I was talking about like how terrible Cutting Edge was, how like Green got robbed, Eosmon was like the worst. It was terrible. I absolutely hated it.
We were paying for the sins of Sarasmon. Like,
not even Sarasmon, HPD.
HPD, sure.
Because like you can't say we're paying for the sins of Sarasmon when we had like the Chad Hercules Cogniteriumon coming up and like smacking the hell, and then like we also had Grand Wagamon, right? OTK Green back in BT5, like OTK with like air quotation marks.
Yeah,
but,
like, Chaosmon.
Yeah, but like nonetheless, right? It was just like HPD really hoed us out for like a couple of years, a couple sets at least, and it's just like
I'm actually looking forward to these like first 2 weeks of BT15, because I know people are going to show up at my locals with a Pockley, and I'm like, that's great. I'm really glad you get to play your deck for 2 weeks before it goes. That's epic. I'm going to be on Chaosmon again just to really like just punch the Apocalypse and just be like, sorry, but like I have to play bugs in some way, and if Chaosmon is what lets me do it, I'll do it. I'll feel nothing.
Bro, I was
I
going
think,
back to a vintage.
I think what ends up happening in that situation, and it's crazy. I know. Hear me out. Piedmon has retaliation.
It doesn't matter. The Apocalypse dead.
So they go Apocalypse mill 8, and then you go, okay, Chaosmon swing, and they go, okay, retaliate kill, and they go, oh, thank you so much for putting my Dark Masters back in the trash. I really needed those.
It's just about the power
Anyway.
fantasy. I just want to kill Apocalypse. That's it. It doesn't matter if I lose.
No, hey, power to you, power to you.
Bro
all right?
is an end of JRPG high school. He just wants to fight God.
Apocalypse is such a frustrating. People have said 1,000,001 things about Apocalypse. There's nothing else to say. I get upset about that deck, and Mill is my favorite all-time card game archetype. How could they do us like this? It's so disastrous. It must have, like, I don't know. I feel like that's the sort of thing that's like, you know, they send in the final notes for all the cards and before we get the artists on board. And it's like, who left the sticky note for Apocalypse on here? Mill, everything, win, game? How do you put this on card text?
Well, it's like, I'm just glad that like I get to play multiple green decks, to be fair, because like for a while it was like,
Bloom
you play
Jail.
Bloom or you play Bloom, and you don't get a choice.
Yeah, Bloom was green for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
guys fought in those battles.
Let's be honest. As far as the English format's concerned, green is still Bloom. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend.
Well,
hang on. How long till Terriermon comes out?
Next month, but it's not. But Terrier without Rapid X is kind of boneless, to be honest with you.
Oh, my man needs the mean green machine.
Listen,
I got a DM to send you later, my friend.
All right, you show me the sauce. Show me the sauce. I want to be enlightened because all I've seen, because I've tested quite a bit of Terrier, and it goes Rapidmon protection, yeah, and I go, okay, I'm just gonna wait a turn. And
you just wait a turn, yeah.
Oh, and they're like, oh, well, I don't have exactly a kill pressure. That's weird. And I go, that's crazy. Anyway, so I'm gonna kill the Rapidmon on the following turn, and then there's always those games where it's like, oh, I didn't draw Rapidmon, huh?
Yeah, the deck feels like so awful if you just
absolutely
don't draw the
boneless. Yeah,
there's just nothing to do. But again, we get choice now. You know, that's better than we were doing a year ago.
So let me get that.
Yeah. I mean, choosing between
which way, Western man?
mediocre and mediocre. I mean, fuck it, right?
I'll have a mid off.
Me and the boys having a mid off arguing about alliance cards.
Leomon was like not the worst at Nats. It was like
so I think Leomon has a very good niche into Anubis if the Anubis player isn't prepared for it.
Of course.
Which like sure. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of Anubis players, you're playing Death X. There was a fair amount playing Spotamon. You could also just ignore the heavy Leo because
but they have to interact with it. That you bait them into interacting with it, you know.
Or you could just like not. I don't know, man. Like,
I'm not the Anubis player. I wasn't the Anubis player.
Okay, Hoang, I was just gonna remind you that the highest placing Anubis player pushed out a Goblimon under double Digimon Emperor. The bar is on the floor.
Look, man.
It's alright. We ball.
Look. Digimon Emperor hasn't been relevant since BTA. I'll cut him some slack. It's been a while. Surely, card game players don't read. All right, that's not our forte. All right.
He's making a comeback, by the way. Digimon Emperor is like.
Oh, Digimon Emperor is crazy.
Buy your
16. Oh yeah.
Buy your Tamer Party copies. This is the one mandatory 2-minute market watch.
Buy your
once a month. Buy your nice Digimon Emperors right now, because when 19 people sit across from you at an event playing 8 Ukomons, you're gonna want them.
It's $18. I'm too poor for that, and suddenly now I'm charged.
$18.
In America, they're 18. So suddenly,
they're 3 times that here. I guarantee you.
I have to charge you guys for my guest appearance. I need to afford some Digimon Emperors.
I do have one in my binder.
Yeah, if snail mail it out, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I cannot believe how expensive these have already gotten.
£17 last week.
He's like $10 here in the EU. He's
not that bad.
It's not that
bad.
All right. Well, EU players, your time is now. TCG player, they've already woke up to it. They could figure it out.
You know what is bad? RBO1 Monzaimon. I was so mad.
Oh yeah, it's $15 right now or something, right?
Yeah,
it's 15.
I got an absolute steal on British eBay. I paid £10 per copy of RB1 Monzaimon. That's like, I don't know, like $12. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
look, I'll take shipping included, bro. I got a playset and I walked away.
I was awake watching the Japanese nationals, and I saw Numemon made top 8, and then I immediately went to TCG Player and I just bought it. Like, I was just like, this is gonna do too well at this event. Like, there's no way.
Yep.
And then
I
lo
think
and behold, it did too well. So
But to be fair, I don't mind when like weird decks do well because like I can only take so much Greymon and Melga and like
yeah.
advertised deck like advertised Bandai official deck. Like I want the weird decks to do well.
Yeah,
And thanks to that, I'm sitting real nice. You know,
Oh.
like we're already ahead. We beat
Bro,
them
it's
to the punch.
thrifted.
Like
So-
Etemon as well. There was like
yeah. You know, I guess that's
there
probably
was
a
an
good
Etemon in
question.
Oceania that did like really well. Like,
Oh yeah, there was an
Top
Etemon
eight.
top
Okay.
8.
So fun fact, that's my boy. So my name is Alex. His name is Alex, but he's Australian Alex, and I'm
oh, the
American
Machinedramon
Alex.
player.
He's
Yeah,
the double A.
So a little bit of a lore story. Him and I, we spent 2 months DMing each other for 2 hours a day, labbing Machinedramon. And so as a result, he ended up winning his regional with Machine, and I got second place, as you know. But we legit for 2 hours a night, and by 2 hours for me it was like 1 in the morning. For him it was like 12 in the afternoon. But I'm literally just sitting. We're just sitting here like, dude, how do we optimize Machine? Oh, dude, Mill Loop is like an absolutely terrible matchup. Dude, like, how do we beat Hunters? We figured it out, by the way. We figured out how to beat Hunters, and I was so ready for the Hunters matchup, and I played Zero, and I was really upset.
But what you did play against was Blue Flare Superior mode.
Yeah, I had no counterplay to that. I legit, there's just nothing you could do. Like, it's just
No.
it's nothing. You literally can't do anything.
Yeah, that's unbeatable.
Are you ready
but-
for Melga? Melga to just absolutely take
So
over your analogs?
that matchup is rough. If I don't play Machine for this upcoming regional in next month, it's because of Melga. Because Machine Melga matchup, like, I think it's the average Melga player, it's probably beatable, and then like a good Melga player probably runs my shit. So I'm good, dude. But yeah, no, Alex, we talked about Etemon for quite a bit, and we were labbing it a lot, and we legit, I think we flip-flopped between black and yellow base for like 2 months, and then eventually we just settled on like, what if we just like Death X, like a lot.
Just a lot of them.
Like a lot of Death X's, you know? Like, what if, like we just play a Death X and they clear the first Death X and we just Death X again. You ever think about that?
I saw the profile, and when I saw the 3 being slammed down, I was like, these poor Etemon players, they've been looking forward to this
Bro,
deck.
I love how late he leaves it. It's like 40 minutes in of them yapping, and then bro just goes, here's like 9 times the rest of the deck's fucking value.
Yeah, you dropped 130 USD on that table right at the end.
The list was sick though. When the brings out the Azulon Grace, I was like, wow, that card was like an MVP in EX5 for like any blue or yellow deck to fight against the red hybrid decks.
Yeah, no, that card was absolutely crazy good for sure.
Oh man.
There was so
I wish
many
our
weird
Nats was
talks.
EX5. That would have been
Yeah,
cool. Instead, we played BT14. That's
Hey, speaking of BT14, you mentioned a minute ago that you're kind of sick of these Bandai pushed archetypes or whatever. Can we talk about the purple deck that doesn't? Because what's going on with Lugamon, man? Where is it going? How many more waves does it need?
Well, Seeker's finish is
It's
very
over
soon.
now, right? We're just getting the epilogue.
Did it finish?
I believe last weekend was the final, like, no spoilers for Seekers on the pod. We try and be, but like,
I thought we had like 1 or 2 chapters left, but I could be wrong.
the triple check. I haven't read it because I've been traveling.
But BT17 is most likely the last Seeker support for a very long time, and then we're gonna go into Liberators. Which, speaking of Liberators, I think it's so funny that Liberators is a web comic about a simulator.
Yeah.
And they don't even have the audacity to give us the sim. Oh my god.
Right. What's great though, is it opens so many
I
content
am the Digimon
opportunities.
Liberator, bro. It's me. The webcomic's about me.
Send your fan art of Hoang and Terramon to
Somebody
HoangZero on YouTube.
Okay.
Somebody like a crochet version of Shushumon and send it to Hoang.
Dude, you've been memeing, but like when they dropped this news, all that has come to mind for me is just skits. Like I like Hoang, did you watch much of like actual Vanguard, the anime?
I did. I stand by G era was the best era of the Vanguard anime.
G is where I quit. G is where I
G is a banger, dude. I love G.
The thing that I hated the most was like Vanguard does such a good job of teaching you in the anime. The first G
Not
strategy
G, bro.
in G, they go, okay,
Slice of life.
here's my shit. G-Stride, flash to white, match is over. I was like,
Yeah,
the new mechanic, they're just not gonna
it's slice of life now.
But yo, I want Liberator. I want it to be this guy that's completely new to the card game, and I want him to get jobbed, bro.
It's just
like
never
Aichi.
won.
I want Aichi season 2, where he's just getting jobbed game after game after game.
He doesn't
bro.
play
It's
around
like
anything.
the captain,
Wait,
he's the carry,
gonna
and he
pull
gets
the-
smoked. I want our dude to like be. I want like Terramon to be like reptile shit. He tries to play Dorbikmon under a fucking floodgate, passes 13 memory, and just bam, dead. I want this guy to get jobbed.
It's gonna be some real Vanguard shit where he doesn't have a grade 3, so he doesn't have a level 6 in his deck, right? He's playing level 3 to 5, and that's it. We don't get the mega for a long time. It's somehow he beats the equivalent of Dragonic Overlord for fun.
I can see it, but it's just like
Right?
Greymon. It's just like Greymon, and he's
No,
just like,
it's gonna be the Virus Imperial Ultramon that they showed in the
oh
little
yeah.
That's the Dragonic Overlord.
The dude's gonna do the full combo, and he's just not gonna have it. He's like, yeah, here's 8 memory. You got me, bro.
Trying to find the blurb that I read, but I swear to God, like it is like
He
part of
is
the
new. He is a
precipice.
new player.
Yeah,
He is
they
a
like
new
make
player,
a thing
yeah.
that he goes to stuff and he's just never won a game.
Yeah.
Like, dude is
I'm
like showing
excited.
he is your X2 friend. You're like, hey man, what you doing at locals tonight? He's like, I got a Coke out of the fridge upstairs. I've dropped already.
No, he's X3 in there for the prize support. He's
Yeah,
collecting
dude is
his
like-
security rookies one at a time.
And lucky for
Well-
him, he's playing in BT17, so he doesn't get to play BT16. Sucks to be the main character.
Yeah, sucks to have been born in an AU where we don't get to play 16. Man, dude. I'm excited for Liberator stuff because I think there's actually like, you know, on the purely off the precipice of like what they're gonna do with like the global release schedule. I think it's really hyped that there's gonna be like how many, let's be honest here, chat. If you haven't read Seekers, which I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most of you haven't. And I understand, because it was not maybe the most smooth sailing Bandai project of the year.
No, it wasn't.
Just to be diplomatic about it. If you've not read Seekers, it's cool, and it makes you more excited about these SOC piles. So when Marvin Jackson domes you in ways that you didn't understand could happen, you feel a little bit more like, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, but can we just say Marvin is a terrible card for Machine Dramon?
Yes,
but he's
sir.
a great Justimon card.
No, we can't do this again.
Is he though?
I will take a tamer that gives me a member. I will take the bare minimum.
You already have Kazu.
I will take Kazu again.
This is an
Please.
uphill battle, Hoang. We've been doing this for weeks. Okay, look, I think there are decks that can. The funniest application I ever saw was there was a it's like right at the start of 15.
That's the Leomon thing.
The Leomon with Marvin Jackson, where you reactivate Indomitable by just mind linking to the machine heavy
Oh.
Leomon. I was like, that's hilarious.
Oh,
You should keep
but-
it jamming.
yeah. Do you forget the other?
Jamming, it survives full end of attack.
Did you forget the other just heinous usage of heavy Leomon? So remember BT4 Anubismon, my goat?
Oh,
Are
I
we-
love it.
Are we giving it a rush? Is that where we're going with this?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep,
you
100%.
get 4x antibodies, and you just load that under a fortitude goober and just watch it run into security 4 times with Anubis
That's
just giving it a
awful.
rush over and over again. Shit's
What if it doesn't die?
calling, bro. You're a
What?
purple deck.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Also, you can
So we're operating under the assumption that we get both an Anubismon from BT4 and a heavy Leomon on the board at the same
and
time.
Tierlists. Also, yeah, you
Damn,
could, yeah, you
we're-
just need a 4. Like you just need the Anubis to go over Antila or Chimera, play out something, have that evolve into a fortitude, and just send it in. You don't
This
have
is-
to use heavy Leo. If you use heavy Leo, it gets to unsuspend a bunch of times, and then you don't even have to
Andrew,
work. as
you
hard.
have fully succumbed to Stockholm syndrome from Anubismon, man.
Just leave a loop.
It is
just leave
completely
it.
taken over.
Let your
screen.
dog die.
Tom, this is your fault. It won something in Asia, and you
Yes,
sent
it
it
did.
to me.
There was
and
a-
you
There's the
wasted-
one card
you
Digimon card
wasted
medalist.
so
Yes,
much
there- I
of my
will-
time.
Transparently, it did win an Evo Cup.
You
This
have
is not a
wasted
joke.
so much of my time on that deck.
green, purple, and Tielemon playing Anubis, and the really funny gimmick for it was that the one of the green rookies they were playing was the like green Agumon, so that you could warp into Secret War Greymon from BT14.
Mm,
With
It was like It was the most evil pile of tech cards and garbage I've ever seen in my life. But sure
hate all of
shit, it won
this.
a 32-man Evo Cup, and I was like, Andrew, I have something for you to do at locals this month. And you never put it away. God bless you.
Did it work at locals?
It's not. We can't play it. We're waiting for.
No, I think all
we
the
can
cards
play
are
it.
out
We can
now.
play it now. But
Oh,
at
you're
the
waiting
time,
for EX5. You're waiting for EX5.
You
for
needed a
the-
heavy Leomon, right?
Yeah, I needed a heavy Leomon. But
We needed Indomitable for the whole Indomitable meme.
Yeah. It
I will
works
never
in
forgive
theory.
Marukimon.
Just you wait. At some
Oh.
point, there will be a random simulator best of one where I choose one person, and that will be our sample size.
You are gonna get IP banned, dude. It's already over. Well, fellas, that was a roundabout version of what's going on in the East. Should we talk about the? We wanted to try and cover this for a little bit. For some of the Western stuff, it's pre-release weekend. Shout outs to BT15. It has been. I don't want to speak for everybody here on the pod, but that is the worst set of Digimon cards I've ever opened in my goddamn life. It gives RB1 a run for its money.
Did you go to a pre-release one? Did you play
I actually went to a convention called TCG Con,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's based in it was a Houston event, and it's like a trading card game convention, and so I went to that instead of my BT15 release, and I walked away with something so evil and heinous that it should never be shown ever again. But alas,
Tonight, one night only.
I walked away with 4 copies of Apocalypse, including the alt art.
That's foul.
That's messed up, bro.
Because
That's weird. They
Bandai,
don't say sample.
Bandai decided to release the first Ulti Cup of the season with Apocalypse legal.
Oh
Why
my god!
wouldn't you play that
Yeah.
deck?
So as I literally I was held gunpoint by Bandai, and I built Apocalypse.
Exactly. You don't have a choice.
And see, so the funny story here is I was at the booth and they had Apocalypse, and I was like, I need Apocalypse because
Mhm.
who like I don't have time. I work constantly, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have time to get Apocalypse. I need Apocalypse. Let's buy Apocalypse. And when I went to the booth, they had a binder, and there were 4 Apocalypse. These 4 Apocalypse, right?
Mhm.
You may notice one of them is an alt art.
Yep.
Okay. And I was
That's
like,
all they have?
that's all they had. So I was like, okay. So I now own 1 alt art Apocalypse and 3 regular arts. Little did I realize there was another section of that shop with another
no.
base for Apocalypse. So now I own this garbage for no reason.
Couldn't they let you like at least like trade down or something? Give you some store credit?
No,
That's
unfortunately.
brutal.
They
That's
said
brutal.
no refund.
Well, they know what's gonna happen to Apocalypse in 3 weeks, guys. It's not a secret.
Yeah, but it's okay because see, I'm gonna top the Ulti Cup and I'm gonna get my Emperor Greymon, and if I don't, then this was a really funny story I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
True.
Speaking of funny stories and where people can go when you top the Ulti Cup, do you have any last minute plugs you'd like to give, perhaps for the channel, any work you've been up to, anything you'd like to highlight, or any people you'd like to mention?
Yeah, so shout outs for sure. The HoangZero mod team, I think, has absolutely been my, like the backbone of everything for the longest time. They're the people I test with the most. They help test with the most. They help me theory craft everything. They've been some of my closest friends. Really, really just great people, wonderful people. Zero, as you guys know, the co-host of the channel, really great guy. The funniest shit is whenever people recognize him for his voice, I think always gets me. It's very entertaining.
Hey, you're the dude from the Tierlists
like-
movies I watch once a month.
Yeah, right.
He's in like what, a handful of like clips like in person.
I don't know what he looks like at all.
I'm about to say I don't think he's ever shown his face on video per se. It's just I think it's like strictly voice, and like I don't think that's like on purpose either. It just kind of happened that way.
Dude had a radio. I used to work in radio. My man would crush that stuff.
Right?
Yeah,
But,
he's got good for it.
So shout out to Zero. A bunch of people. Really, the mod team is like huge. Karan Patel. He's a very good Shine player. He's kind of been my best friend since I was 13, I think. So it's been a very long time. And him and I kind of like plunged into this Digimon journey together. And he's actually helping me get into One Piece right now. So really huge shout out to him.
He played I recognize that from Vanguard as well, right?
Yeah, he was the Luard player in Vanguard. He got
World's
a lot
best
of
Luard.
Yeah, world's best Luard. So shout outs to him. And there's a lot of other people like Ying, Human, right? He did commentary for One Piece at Nationals, and like there's like 10 other people, but like I don't have enough time to shout out all of them. But other than that, for sure, supporting the channel, supporting the HoangZero channel, subscribe to the channel, follow, join the HoangZero Discord, follow me on Twitter, things like that. It all goes like a very long way, and I appreciate all of it. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. I think we're almost about to break into the 9,000 like little threshold. We're like getting relatively close. So if we break 10,000, that'd be super cool. There's a HoangZero Patreon now that if you want to support the HoangZero channel, strictly supporting the HoangZero channel, feel free to support me there. We are offering things like coaching sessions, first person VOD analysis, some behind the scenes stuff. Like just a lot. We're trying to do like quite a bit of content for that. So it's just a way to give back to the community and whatnot. And yeah, thank you all. You three, thank you so much for having me on this episode. It's like a ton of fun. Having to do math for lethal only to have it blow up in my face because the Beelzemon clip especially, mind you, you had lethal like 12 different ways and you decided to go with the way that required you to luck sack. I mean, like, kudos
baby.
to you. Kudos to you. You got the cojones for that, but shit, man.
It's every week with this show. I pull up to locals on a Wednesday night and I'm like, dear God, are his sleeves purple? What am I doing?
Yeah, for context, one of my highest placements is on a 2-hour sleep Beelzemon sack list where the guys gaslit me into going to Walsall when I didn't want to go.
This was Ulti Cup too.
I got up
This
to
was
2
the first
This was
set
like
of
starter deck Beelzemon Ulti Cup, and you just showed up. You hadn't slept. You were like a zombie in the back of the van.
I borrowed max rarity purple Beelzemons off of someone and just sacked motherfuckers for 7 hours. It's awesome.
So what was the placing?
Just outside top 32 because it was really funny story. There was 9 of us from Fanboy 3. I picked the wrong camera here. Whoops. There's like 9 of us from like Fanboy 3 all sitting next to each other on the top 32 qualifier last round. And I'm like, statistically, one of us has to eat shit and the rest of us are going to top. First hand, unplayable. Shuffle it, send it back. 3 slingers, Balmon and Beelzemon. I go, boys, it's me. Everyone else is topping and everyone else won their rounds.
You shouldn't have said anything. You jinxed yourself. It was over at that point.
I showed my hand to Marcio. I'm like, it's raps, bro. Everyone's got this.
It didn't look good.
But as we arrive at the end of the hour here, we wanted to say a special thank you to Hoang for making it out. This has been a super cool experience. Thank you all so much for showing up tonight for Misplay for Game. This was our preliminary episode with the new name. Want to say a special thank you to Andrew, who has been holding it down. He's been working on graphics for a couple of little bits. Lethal or Living is an absolute banger, my man. Well done. Great work tonight. And of course, as always, we ended it with a little bit of a plug for ourselves. If you aren't following on the Twitch, go ahead and do so. It's free. If you can subscribe on Twitch and you are in a financial position to do so, or have Twitch Prime where you get a free sub every month, you should do so. It goes a long way. The emotes are fun and helps us make content. And if you want to head over to youtube.com/KnTElixar, you can subscribe to the channel there. Super regular match gameplay, some really great video essay stuff that I don't want to give away too much because there's been some material written under works for a little while.
I have done the script for the DP minus video. It will be out by the end of the month. I just need to get off my ass.
Hell yes. And of course, membership goes a long way there as well. So, but thank you all so much for watching Misplay for Game. I've been Tom.
I've been Andrew.
It's me, Marcio.
And hell you! I wanted to make a joke before because it's Super Bowl Sunday and we have not lobbed up once.
Nope.
There has been no receive. It's because I got bad internet here. Don't worry about it.
All right. But yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks again, Hoang, for dropping by and kind of kicking off this like season 2 with a bang. Hope to have you on again at some point as well.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it.
All right, and good luck with the sim and the rest of your content efforts.
Thank you.
All right, gang. Peace.
See ya.